flashing like a clean earthquake. Current events, yeah, he's got that mapped. If it's not there about, it's getting unwrapped. So drop your questions, drop your doubts. Steve's here sorting all the truth from the cloud. No panic, no spin, no agenda to flatter. Just one simple rule: facts still matter. Facts still matter. Say it louder, say it louder. Truth cuts through all the noise, that's power. Steve's in the chat with the real-time data. Drop that spin, we'll fact check it later. Facts still matter, yeah, we're keeping receipts. Headlines fine, but we read past the tweets. If it's news, if it's now, Steve breaks it down. Cause the truth hits different when the facts come out.
Good morning. Happy Friday, February the 6th, 2026, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Good to see you. We know you got many choices to make every single day, and we're so glad you choose to spend some time with us. So thank you for joining us back here on the main account. I can't promise we'll behave today. I cannot promise that. So you know the drill. Tapping is clapping, liking is loving, sharing is caring. Thank you so very, very much for being here. Please consider joining our team. You know the drill there. Please consider participating in the gifting goal today. Help us keep on the FYP. Help us get out to the FYP. What you'll see here, I'll talk about in just a moment. Go to the link tree. All kinds of information there about how to join our Discord. Please consider doing that. A couple of new channels in the Discord, including the Do Something Tour. Please follow us at Do Something Tour on Instagram. You'll see the links there. Thank you for joining us this morning on YouTube and Twitch. Please consider subscribing if you've not yet done that. So let me talk about this for just a second. As you know, and I'll get into this a little bit more this morning, we are raising money for our Do Something Tour, and yesterday we passed $505, so thank you in advance. We'll continue to track this. Our first target is probably $3K. That's going to help us secure our transportation, and members of our community have been incredibly kind. We'll talk about that more in a minute. If you want to participate this, every dollar will be transparent. All the expenses that we cover, you'll see how that money goes out. We'll probably do something in Discord. We'll figure out how that's going to work. But Cash App, PayPal, Venmo are the best ways to support the channel. So thank you for that. Few more things before we get into our topics today. There's a couple of items that are in our merch store. You can find our merch store either at factsstillmatter.site or Facts HQ. Link is in the bio or in the link tree. There's a couple of items there that are specific for Minneapolis, Minnesota in general. Any and all proceeds from the sales of those items will go directly to support canmn.org. It's the Community Action Network in Minneapolis. I think we just passed $225 or $230, something along those lines. We'll run this, I don't know, maybe we'll run it through like Valentine's Day. Maybe that's a good spot to run it through, which will be next Saturday. Heads up, everybody. Valentine's Day is a week from tomorrow. So any and all proceeds from that will go directly to support that cause. So I want to thank you all for participating, and welcome to the show. It is Free Speech Friday. No particular topic. Want to hear from you. We'll get into a few things, but I think first we have to start with this. I don't know if you were aware, but the president's official Truth Social page featured this image last night. Just take that in for just a second. Obviously, we know what that is. And in the Truth Social post, The Lion Sleeps Tonight was playing in the background. So there's that. The thing is, it won't matter. Because there will be people who support him when we've told him for years that he is a bona fide racist, that he is just a vile human being. And people will say, oh, well, it was one of his staffers. Or, well, he's just kidding, just poking fun. And sure enough, as I wake up this morning and take the dog outside, people in the live, people in TikTok spaces and other places, joking about it. Joking about it. President of the United States with this. We can officially end the debate about whether or not our president is a racist. I mean, I've known this for a very long time. In fact, on his Truth Social page today, he's doubling down. Replaying clips from his, congressional hearings back in the 80s when he was talking about, they don't look Indian to me, that kind of shit. But again, nothing to see here, right? It's totally fine. Doesn't bother anybody. Yeah. Obviously, there's been quite a bit of reaction, including from people around the country in both parties. Gavin Newsom has come out pretty aggressively, as one would expect. I'm waiting to hear from some Republicans. California Governor Newsom has slammed Donald as disgusting for sharing a racist video of Michelle and Barack as monkeys. On the, what was it, the 5th day of Black History Month, too. Black history is American history. And how ironic that the President of the United States shares that vile imagery of former President Obama and Michelle. And we're supposed to just be like, he's just kidding. 79-year-old president shared the video in a late-night posting frenzy on his True Social platform. The video once again brings up the unfounded claims of 2020 fraud, but at the 59-second mark in the video, an AI-generated clip suddenly appears showing the Obamas like this, superimposed onto monkey bodies. In the background, the 1961 song by the Tokens, "The Lion Sleeps Tonight" plays. The post has sparked immediate backlash across social media, including many people describing it as racist. Writing on X, Governor Newsom's press office wrote, "Disgusting behavior by the president. Every single Republican must denounce this now." Where are they? Where are the statements? Where are voices in the Republican Party that are going to stand up against this shit? Where are they? Where are they? The clinically insane, this is from Gavin Newsom. The clinically insane president of the United States has now made more than 50 posts on his social media platform in the past hour, and this is one of them. One user wrote, this did not come from Gavin Newsom's office. This is just a separate post. The clinically insane president of the United States has now made more than 50 posts on his social media platform in the past hour. This is one of them. Trump just posted an incredibly racist photo of the Obama's faces photoshopped onto the body of apes. Every day is a new rock bottom for this ugly pig. He is the most openly racist president since slavery was abolished. Just shared a video of Michelle and Barack as apes. This is what the Republican Party is now, another person wrote. Trump just posted an incredibly racist photo of the Obama's faces photoshopped on the body of apes. Every day is a new rock bottom. The video, which Trump posted twice during Black History Month, was just one of numerous posts. The majority focused on Trump's unsubstantiated claims of election stuff, which he has persistently repeated in recent days as the midterms draw near. In a separate post, Trump shared a screenshot reading, "This can be a great option if things don't work," accompanied by a video of Bruce Lee fighting. The president's most recent erratic social media activity follows his calls for Republicans to, quote, "take over the voting process and nationalize elections." The Republicans should say, "We want to take over. We should take over voting in at least 15 places," the president proposed on a conservative podcast released on Monday. Republicans ought to nationalize voting, Trump told former Deputy FBI Director Dan Bongino during his podcast. Where is the outrage? When you sit in your little spaces, right, and you have 9 people in your live and 8 are on the panel, and you're all sitting there saying you don't like it when the leftist calls you racists. You don't like it when leftists call you Yahtzees. You don't like it when leftists claim or make comparisons to certain groups. When we compare ICE to certain groups from 1930s history. It is real, Texas. Yeah, that was posted. Yep. Just want that to sink in a little bit. Right? Nothing to see here though, right? Nothing at all. It's totally fine. The normalization of this shit is really the part that bothers me the most, to be honest. You know, the fact that, first of all, for anybody to do this, and then for people to defend it, because there will be people that are going to defend it today. There will be lots of them who will defend it instead of just seeing it for what it is. The president of the United States is a full-blown fucking racist. Full-blown. And people will say, "Oh, well, it was somebody from his staff." Okay. It might have been Stephen Miller. Okay. Does that make it any better? Make you angry? Should. Make you disgusted? It should. It absolutely should make you absolutely disgusted. Now, I'm sure we'll hear some spin today from Caroline Leavitt or from his right-wing safe spaces or the people he goes to when the pressure's on, so to speak. How the fuck do you defend that? It is real. Yes, this is real. How the fuck do you defend it? President of the United States of America, a former president and a former first lady depicted like this. Yeah. So, let's talk about some irony. Because we have just last week, or actually earlier this week, we talked about how the primary sourcing, live that we did. When I took you guys through how to identify primary sources. And don't forget, the House Oversight Committee came out with their claim, again, the James Comer-led, Republican-led Oversight Committee, claiming that the biggest scandal in American history was the auto pen. The biggest political scandal in American history was the auto pen. Okay? And then, of course, we had this one.
The president came out addressing reporters on Thursday, and he was wearing this tan suit.
President Obama's decision to wear a light tan suit at yesterday's news conference. He was wearing a tan suit.
Light tan suit.
I think it was shocking to a lot of people. Is this an effort to make him look warmer?
There's no way I think any of us can excuse what the president did yesterday. I mean, and then for him to walk out, I'm not trying to be trivial here, but in a light suit, light tan suit.
Also known as Tangate.
Tan suit, and how the tan suit made him look unpresidential.
Whoever talked him into going into a tan suit, they're so desperate because of these low poll numbers, they're willing to do anything.
You get the point. You get the point. Someone will find a way to justify it today. Somehow, they'll find a way to justify it. Somehow, someone will find a way to justify it. They'll say he was just joking. Why do you all take it so seriously? Etc., etc., etc. Hey, Drew. How are you, bro?
Hey, good morning, Steve. I just wanted to point something out real quick.
Sure.
Several years ago, a comedian who was past her relevancy by many years tweeted one thing similar to this out, lost her career, lost her job, and now is pretty much relegated to just being a right-wing dancing fool, right?
Correct.
That's a
Roseanne,
comedian.
right?
That was a comedian, yeah. President of the United States puts a video of the only African-American president in our history up like that. And the sad part is, nothing's going to happen. Like you said, people are going to come out and defend it. Oh, he was just joking. Your bitch boy is going to come out and say, well, I've been too busy. I haven't seen anything like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't involve myself with that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Nothing's going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous. He's not he's not just a lame comedian. He's the president of the United States, and nothing's going to happen.
Correct. In fact, he might galvanize some more people. They might be saying, like, you know what? I was really questioning the president, but now I'm all in.
Crazy. Did you also see that because of some of his policies that he signed, they are removing from the memorial of Medgar Evers the name of his unaliver? Yeah, Byron Della Beckwith. They're making that not his name. I'm sorry. I think they're keeping his name, but they're removing any reference to the fact that he might have been racist.
Of course.
That Medgar Evers was
Of
laying
course.
in a pool of blood. They're removing these kind of things from the signage and the history of that building. For what purpose? What if somebody could give you a purpose other than complete and utter racism? I'd love to hear.
There is none.
I just wanted to point those two things out. And also, I don't know, have you listened to Springsteen's song yet?
Yeah, I heard. I did actually. I meant to play it, but I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube. It's great. I forget the title off the top of my head, but it's great.
Streets of Minneapolis. Yeah, he names names. Man.
Yeah, exactly.
He names.
Yeah,
names.
I mean it's great. He names names. It's great. It's great.
Yeah, so
I agree.
Hey man, just another fucked up Friday, right, buddy?
Yeah, free speech Friday, but yes, fucked up indeed. I appreciate you, brother. Have a good day. Be safe
thanks,
out there.
buddy.
Okay.
You too.
Thanks
Have a good weekend.
Take care. You too. I mean, again, I'm sorry. I mean, I know it's disgusting, but we can't let this pass, right? We cannot let this. It cannot be normalized. You know, it is the 6th day now of Black History Month, and this is what the president does. And we know of things that Stephen Miller has said. I mean, how many more dots do we need to connect? What else do you need to see? And this is, again, like I said just a few minutes ago, I'm concerned that this has just become normalized. And we're just like, we see it and we're like, yeah, that sucks. Where are elected Republicans? Why are people not being just absolutely, I mean, what? What else do you need to see? It is real. It is real. Why? Where's the outrage? Where is it? It's going to sit there and not say anything and just be like, yeah. And are people going to really try to defend this? It was overnight last night. Are people going to try to defend it? I haven't checked this morning if it's even still up. Probably. They probably just left it up. Yep. Okay, Stevie Mac. Yeah, you can. Yeah. Jesus Christ. You see what I mean? You see what I mean? You see? Because you can't defend the fact that your president is a bona fide racist and a predator, et cetera, et cetera. You can't defend that because if you did, then that would just expose your own truth there, Stevie. So instead, you do this. Okay. Good to know. Appreciate you. Said no one ever. I just don't, I don't know. You see? You see what I mean? Like, just figure out a way to defend for it. And you probably think that's a flex, don't you, Stevie? Have you ironed your hood yet today, Stevie? Got your Confederate flag ready to fly, Stevie? Cool. You going through the list of slurs that you can drop all day today? Sharpening your vocabulary? Cool. Good to know. Appreciate that. Well, in a little bit of poetic justice, there was a big push to there was a big push to increase viewership on Michelle Obama's documentary called Becoming. And over the weekend, Michelle Obama's documentary rises 13,000% in views as Melania opened. Becoming garners 47.5 million minutes viewed on the same weekend as the current First Lady's documentary was released in cinemas. Michelle Obama's 2020 documentary Becoming saw a major rise in views over the same weekend that Melania was released. The film, which followed the former First Lady in the wake of her hit book, saw a rise in views of more than 13,000% over the weekend, with 47.5 million minutes viewed, according to The Hollywood Reporter. The weekend before saw only 354,000 minutes watched, according to Luminate. So a 13,000% increase between just a nondescript weekend and the opening weekend of Melania. The film, which The Guardian's Zahn Books described as gilded trash, Remake of Jonathan Glazer's The Zone of Interest and a 0-star review has been struggling overseas, opening at number 29 in the UK and number 31 in Australia. Melania currently has a 5% rating on Rotten Tomatoes compared with Becoming, which has a 93%. Somebody just said it. The president's jealous. Well, again, more poetic justice. An Oregon theater says Amazon pulled Melania movie over jokes about the doc and its marquee. So this theater called, it is the Lake Theater and Cafe in Oswego, okay? An Oregon movie theater accuses Amazon of pulling Melania 20 Days to History from its screens after the tech giant was unhappy with how the theater marked the First Lady's documentary. Lake Theater and Cafe in Lake Oswego. Friends, if you are anywhere near the Lake Theater and Cafe in Lake Oswego, which is a suburb of Portland, please patronize them. Please go show them some love. Please overwhelm their audience. Please overwhelm their concession stands. It's called, again, Lake Theater and Cafe in Lake Oswego. A Portland suburb said Sunday on Instagram that Amazon, quote, higher-ups were upset with how its marquee promoted Melania and that it needed to stop showing the film. Quote, got a call from the higher-ups at Amazon. We're upset with how our marquee marketed their movie, Melania. That, per them, Sunday would be its last day, the theater wrote. On the marquee, on their marquee in response to this Lake Theater Cafe wrote, Amazon called. Our marquee made them mad. All Melania shows canceled. Show your support at Whole Foods instead. An apparent reference to Amazon's acquiring Whole Foods Market in 2017. This is what they wrote. This was on their marquee. In headlines and the marquee. Does Melania wear Prada? Find out Friday. And to defeat your enemy, you must know them. Melania. And Amazon got all triggered by that. So once again, the response from the Lake Theater and Cafe, Amazon called, our marquee made them mad. All Melania shows canceled. Show your support at Whole Foods instead. Lake Theater and Cafe, suburb of Portland, Oregon. Please go there and patronize them. Great. So cool that they did that. But again, nothing to see here, right? It's totally fine. Anyway, it is Free Speech Friday. Thank you all for being here. Really, really appreciate that. Just before we get too far into the show today, I just want to give folks an update on Do Something. So for those of you who are just finding us again this week, we just got our account back yesterday. And as you know, we are in the process of raising funds to support yours truly going out on the road. And what I thought I would do is I would just kind of give some folks just a reminder of what it is that we're doing. Please continue to follow us here. Please consider joining our Discord because there is a channel dedicated to that. We have a newly launched Instagram page, which I think we'll probably be using that a lot. Go check it out. Thank you, Sam, for building that. So this is kind of the thing. I'll just read it because it's just easier. I want to start with something honest. A lot of people in this country are tired, not just busy tired. I mean, soul tired. Tired of working hard and still feeling like they're falling behind. Tired of watching the news and feeling powerless. Tired of hearing promises every election season and then watching nothing change. If you've ever felt like your vote doesn't matter, like your voice doesn't count, I want you to know something. You're not alone and you're not wrong for feeling that way. Because when you feel ignored long enough, you stop believing anyone is listening. And when you stop believing anyone is listening, you stop showing up. Here's what I've learned in my life. The moment that good people stop showing up is the moment when the wrong people take over the room. That's why I'm launching this tour called Do Something. Not because I think I have the answers, not because I'm here to tell anyone what to think, but because I believe we're losing something precious in this country, and that's our faith in each other. I'm going to travel the country, sit down with people who feel forgotten, people who feel dismissed, people who feel like the system is built for someone else, and I'm going to listen. I want to hear what broke your trust. I want to hear what you've lived through. I want to hear what you wish the people in power actually understood about your life. Because the truth is, democracy isn't a speech. It's not a slogan. It's not something that happens once every 4 years. Democracy is the people. It's parents trying to keep their kids safe. It's workers trying to keep food on the table. It's communities trying to stay whole. It's people who don't want to be a headline. They just want to be okay. And I know this. If we want change, we can't just hope for it. We have to participate in it. I'm not asking you to be perfect. I'm not asking you to know every issue. I'm not asking you to trust politicians. I'm asking you to trust your own worth, to remember that your voice matters even if it's been ignored, to remember that your vote matters even if it felt like it hasn't, and to remember that your presence matters because this country belongs to you too. So this is my invitation. Come back in, not because the system deserves you, but because your community does. Your kids do, your future does. This is the Do Something Tour. And if you've ever felt powerless, I want you to hear me clearly. You still have power. Let's do something together. So that's the deal. We'll be starting in weather permitting April, maybe mid-April, just because weather in the Northeast can be tricky in early April. And we'll be heading west towards Buffalo, south through the Ohio River Valley, probably as far south as Arkansas, Missouri, east through the Ozarks and towards the southeastern U.S. and then up the coast again. That's our plan. So it'll be 30 days, and we need your help. We have to lean on this community for your kindness, your support, your donations, and even sponsorships. Got a few people working on a few different things, but it's important to me, and this is happening. And I've made a decision professionally that I have to put my business on hold for a little while so that I can focus my time on this. So it's a lot. It's taken on a lot. My biggest concern is I don't want to let anybody down because this community means a ton to me. So thank you all for your kindness, your support, your generosity, and yeah. So all the links, by the way, for if you want to support the channel, everything is at Factsstillmatter. If you want to support this initiative, so any monies raised as we're marching towards this goal will cover transportation, gas, lodging, insurance, dog food, because yes, the mascot is going with me. Cover some of my own expenses as well as we get there, because like I said, I'm going to be dedicating a large chunk of my life to this. So that's the plan. And you can find the link in the link tree that's in my bio. Also, you can find, channel in our Discord, or you can just go to Instagram and look for the Do Something Tour. And there's a lot of information over there. So thank you guys for that. I appreciate it. All right, back to the show. If you think come through, I appreciate you, Annie. Appreciate you. Eventually, well, actually, that's a good point. So this would be the proof of concept. If this works in April, which I think it will, I hope it will. The plan would be to do round 2 sometime in the fall, like mid-September, then leading on up to the midterms. And maybe that becomes the western half of the U.S. Since my daughter will be going to college in California, I've got a reason to be out there. So, yes. So thank you. Appreciate you. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning. How's everybody out there? How you doing, sir?
I'm good. What's up? I'm good.
All right. Yeah, I just want to ask you a question. I need your professional advice. How do you, and you've seen me on live, I get a little unhinged. I'm not going to lie. How do you, because like some of the claims that I go up against, oh, Renee Good didn't lose her kids, blah, blah, blah. I go into the same MAGA talking points, and Lord help me, I try to be professional. I try to get the facts out there. I literally turn on the computer because we don't use Encyclopedia Britannica. Yes, that's an 80s reference. How do you... I don't understand, like, even my wife says, hey, you're getting too heated. It's not worth it. How do you remain so professional, so kind, so generous? I fly off the handle, and I apologize to all my viewers that see me, but it's hard. How do you do it?
I have a bit of an advantage, I think, over lots of people since I worked in media for a long time, right? I mean, I worked in media, radio, and TV for 20 years all told. So it's an environment that I'm kind of used to, so I don't mind being kind of exposed, right? But I'm also there to just remain, personally, the reason I choose to stay, well, let me put it this way. You know the duck on the water reference? Calm on the surface, but all kinds of craziness happening underneath the surface of the water. That's what it feels like. Like I am bubbling over with rage, but I want to have productive conversations. I go to these spaces not necessarily for the people who are on the panel. I go because the people that are on the panel usually have the same people in the audience, and they're not hearing an oppositional point of view. So I'm still there to try to educate. That's always my goal. I can't stand misinformation. When I hear people that are on some of these panels say some of the hateful things that they say, I immediately drop because I don't want to be connected to it. But that's my story. It's not easy. It's not easy. I must say, but you know, I also listen to understand, not listen to react. So maybe that's it. Maybe take a pause before you react. Yes. Take a deep breath and be like, all right, what am I trying to do here?
I agree so badly. But I just want to go up there and make sure that we get the right information. I ask them, you know, when I go into Mega Lives, because they always have that little slogan of, hey, liberals, or, you know, anybody that doesn't come on up. So I do that because I want my side, you know, to be represented. I do that because I want to get the right facts out there. And then when I go to the computer, because I'm, like I said, I'm not using for, you know, the encyclopedia. You know, they were nice at the time.
Yeah, they sure were.
I mean, I had the gold trim ones when they pulled them out. They looked nice, and they sucked when you had to do research for school projects. But when I do that and I go to the source, I say, okay, let me prove it. Let me show you my source. Oh, that's left wing bias. Oh, that's not true. Go here, go there. And I'm like, okay, I went there. It's not there. That's what gets me irritated, because I'm literally trying to present the facts. I literally ask them, simple, prove it. Okay, the election was stolen. Prove it. Where do you get your source? And they just tell me, oh, wow, that's not right. Oh, you're not showing it. And I ask them, okay, turn your camera on, show it. And that's when I fly off the handle. Am I doing something wrong? Am I instigating? Am I being, because I want to learn how to do this.
Here's some advice. Like, I mean, oftentimes, and there's a lot of people on the left who, we have this little circle, we call it MAGA hunting, where we all share sort of, if we find a lie, we want to go in and provide opposition. So we tend to do that. I think what happens is, because we're also, people on the left, we're also frustrated that we hear this misinformation just being spread like crazy. We have a tendency to steamroll. So that's why I choose not to. Like, I let people just say their shit, and then you can just easily, like, I take it point by point. Like, if somebody wants to make a claim for something, okay, where's your source? They're getting better at least trying to present some sources, and then we talk about what the source is together. It's all about, it's stylistically, like, for me, it's a sport, because I debated in high school, I debated in college, and I would not consider this debating anymore. But there's certain things there's certain tells that people, you can hear how they say things. You can start to get the sense that they're getting a little agitated. And do I throw a little salt on the wound on occasionally? Yeah, I do. But it's just, yeah. So it's just a matter about being patient. If you don't want to, don't stoop to their level.
I understand.
Just don't. Just stay above it.
I'll work on it. Yeah, I'll work on it. And as far as the tour goes, thank you. We are all eagerly awaiting it, because I'm one of those voters. I'll be honest with you. I am disenchanted. I cast my vote, and I'm like, yep, it ain't going to mean anything. Well, one, because I live in that state that is also known as Florida, so my vote literally doesn't mean anything down here.
It does, though. It does, though. Your vote does mean something. That's the point. It does.
Let me show you what just happened in Florida the other day. They're trying to make it even harder for us to vote. They're literally telling us, in order to cast my vote, and I'm a U.S. veteran, they are telling me that I'm going to have my passport, that I'm going to have my birth certificate. This new law just got passed in both houses of our chamber just the other day to make it even harder to vote in the state of Florida. That literally just a few years ago made it even harder to vote behind closed doors, behind the governance of Ron DeSantis. This is what I'm up against. And my representative is Kat Kamek. And trust me, look into her history. This is what I'm up against. So I need you to speak to me to make sure that I'm not losing the will to vote. I'm not losing just casting my vote just to get it over with. I want my vote to mean something.
It does, because if everybody felt that way, friend, then we would just not be the country we want. People have to take it seriously. I don't care what district you're in. I don't care whether or not you're a 25 plus Democratic district, or, you're in California, or you're in Illinois, or you're in Vermont, where it's likely to go Democrat. Everybody has to look at their vote, their one vote, as their voice. And if you want to make a statement, exactly, Jess, a vote makes a statement. That's why you do it. You're not voting for yourself. You're voting for people that you don't know. You're voting for marginalized communities in communities that their votes are oppressed. You're voting for women so they can have rights to their body. You're voting for protections for the LGBTQI community. You got to look at it more communal, holistically, than whether or not your vote is going to change the election in your state, because it may. There's congressional districts all across this country that don't get a lot of coverage, where the margins are a couple of hundred votes. That's it.
Correct.
That's why it's important.
All right. Thank you.
That's
Brandon. I appreciate your voice. Thank you so much.
I got you, bro. Talk to you later. I want everybody to, I want everybody to take that advice. Stop looking at whether or not your vote is going to contribute to your candidate winning and make it stand for something. That's what Do Something's about, right? That's what Do Something's about. That is what it's about. It's about understanding that for you to get the things that you want in your country. Now, I'm pragmatic. I understand. There's a lot to be. I'm quiet. I don't think so. The volume's up it's really loud in my ears, although I don't hear very well, so maybe that's the problem. Your vote counts. Keep this in mind. There's people around the world who've lost their lives trying to get the right to vote. And Queens, y'all have only had the right to vote in our country for 100 years. I mean, if that doesn't motivate you, right? I mean, think about that. You didn't have the right to vote until the 19th Amendment and the suffragettes and the Susan B. Anthony's of the world. You didn't have that right to vote. And that didn't apply to everybody. We know that, but keep that in mind. So yes, your vote is important. It is your voice. Please, please, please use it. Thank you. I know. And by the way, I'm glad somebody said that. The conservative Christians and MAGA in particular are deathly afraid of the Queens. So you need to make sure you use that as fuel. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm well. How are you?
Fine, thank you. What's on your mind?
So speaking of voting, I don't think you touched on this yet, the New Jersey primary that's happening right now.
I haven't. Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, the DNC apparently called it for the more moderate Democrat before like all the votes were counted, and I just went and checked. And the more progressive candidate, Mejia, is actually ahead by like 600 votes. And so they had to like retract his story and like all this stuff. And it just really made me angry about the DNC, about the established Dems, and like they refusal to listen. But on the last guest point, like 600 votes, like that's how much your vote does count. That's how much like voting in primaries is so important. This is how we can change what's happening, is by getting progressive people in there. And it just made me so mad at the DNC all over again.
Is that to fill Mikey Sherrill's seat? Is that what that's for?
Yeah. I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. I think all of us are frustrated with status quo, and we want to upset the apple cart. To be able to make the changes that we want at the federal level, we have to elect down ballot progressives. I completely agree. More progressives. More progressives. In case you didn't know, I'm a progressive. So I'm in the camp of electing progressives all across the country, because after all, the root of the word progressive is progress. It's kind of what I want.
Yes.
Kind of what I want. Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to my husband about this. Like, we need to frame it as progressive versus regressive. Like, it's not Democrat versus Republican. It's what policies are going to progress us, and what, like, they really want to take us back to 1919 before women can vote. Like, this is the ideologies, and people get so caught up in, I'm a Republican, I'm conservative, or I'm not so much Democrats, because we're more of a mixed bag, but it's really like language is so important, and progressive is the way. It's the only way. It's literally the only way.
I agree. Thanks for sharing that with us. And a reminder, if you're in New Jersey, please, please, please. I appreciate you being here today. Thanks a lot, friend. See you later.
See you later.
I love that, right? Again, democracy, friends. That's a real, I'm glad we had those conversations back to back, because that gives you an idea. 600 people. You think New Jersey, you think blue. You think New York, you think blue. You think you're safe. You're in a community. Yeah, we're good. I'm represented by a Democrat who's been in that seat for 25 years. That kind of attitude, due respect, that kind of sort of entitled and or laissez-faire attitude towards elections is part of the problem, because democracy is not a spectator sport. If you want it to work, you've got to participate. Just like activism. Activism is a muscle. You got to exercise it. The more you do, the better off we all are. So hopefully people will take that as a cautionary tale somewhat. So please stay involved. Everybody keep tapping, please. Appreciate you all very, very much, because tapping is clapping, liking is loving, and sharing is caring. And there is a gifting goal. I'll reset those in just a second. Elizabeth, are you there? Looks like you might have timed out, friend. Elizabeth, just request again and I'll bring you right back up, okay? Good morning, Paris. How are you today? Paris? Paris? Progressive in your pocket. Okay. Please feel free to request again if you want to come back up. All right. So that's the Do Something tour. You know, more to come on that. We'll be talking about it every single day, but we do need your help to get out on the road. It's okay, Elizabeth. Thank you. I appreciate you. We do need your help to get out on the road because, you know, what we're looking for would be, you know, ground support is a big one, right? At this point, it is just me and the dog. We're going to probably need some help with some camera work and some editing and things like that. So all these pieces are still sort of coming together. And the way my brain works, I feel like I have to check every single box, but I also like the spontaneity of this kind of thing. So if we don't have everything perfect, then so be it. If we don't have the best laid route, then so be it. But I'm going anyway. So it's gonna happen. It is absolutely going to happen. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you, Fax? I love you. I haven't been on a while. I was the one that was working on a petition, but now I feel like I need to completely rewrite it with everything that's gone on. It's hard to keep up with everything that's going on. But my question is, voting is amazing. I was actually the one also that you helped me get registered and there was some kind of ballot that you had me do when they said I wasn't registered, and I went and voted that day.
Yeah, a provisional ballot or absentee?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's great. I remember that conversation, Elizabeth. Good to see you again.
Yeah. So, but one thing, what I'm upset about is I'm loving the protests. I think they're amazing. I love the voting. But one thing I'm upset about, why are the Democrats not doing anything? Why are they sitting down like a bunch of pussies? Pardon my language. Okay. I see a few of them standing up, like, you know, Bernie Sanders will go out and talk. AOC will go out and talk. Jasmine Crockett, even Gavin Newsom. But what are they doing? All they're doing is talking. They're not doing anything. I really feel like we could pull articles of impeachment and impeach the whole cabinet, but they're just sitting back and talking and whining, but not doing anything. What are the Democrats? I'm so upset with them and our party that they're not taking more action. And I don't know how we can encourage that and push that and say, like, do something about it. You know, like, there are representatives, and of course I'm going to vote Democrat because I want anything better than this BS, but sure. I also don't want to vote for people who are just going to sit back and watch shit happen either.
I hear that. So two things you have to keep in mind, this term harm reduction, right? So when I understand what you're saying and we're frustrated, but we can't have people checking out just because you may not like some things or things that the Democrats have done or not done when it comes to what you're talking about. So I want to encourage you to make sure that you're continuing to vote and you're voting for Democrats because we do need responsibility. We do need adults in the room. Second, you're right. I think that's what a lot of people are looking for, right? We want more anger. We want more F-bombs dropped in congressional hearings. We want more articles of impeachment. When you're in the minority in the House, you have little power. You have to be able to get the majority seat so that you can bring people in. Like Republicans are not going to bring in, you know, Pam Bondi for questioning. She's supposed to be there, but they're going to slow roll it as much as they can. I hear you. I absolutely hear you. We want more assertive politicians. I mentioned this yesterday. I had a chance to interview somebody recently who's going to be running for congressional office, and I asked some hard questions. Like, are you willing to go on the debate stage and challenge your opponent and call them liars and call them hypocrites and risk getting some bad press? Because that's what we want. We want people to fight. And that's part of what this tour is about, getting people motivated again, getting people understanding that, hey, if it's not us, then who? If it's not now, then when?
Yeah. And I think Mom Donnie was a really good example of that. But what hurt me after he got elected was that he had a meeting with Trump, and I felt like it was Did you see that meeting with Trump? Because during his running, he was fighting and he was like giving it his all, and like really. And now I've kind of seen him fizzle down almost. I haven't seen him with that same fight again, and I need to see that 100. Which no matter what, I'm going to vote Democrat because I believe the policies.
Right. See, I think he did great with Trump personally. I think he knows how to play the game. I think Zohran Mamdani is going to be a name we're going to be hearing in national politics for quite a while in the future. He knows how to play the game. He outsmarted the president. He even got the president to say, "It's okay if you want to call me a fascist, go ahead." And Mamdani's like, "Okay, you're a fascist," like in the Oval Office. So I think he handled that. Actually, I think he handled that quite well. As a matter of fact, I think he handled it quite well.
And then my last question was going. Oh shoot, I'm drawing a blank.
It's all good. It's no problem.
What? So
well,
I'll think of it. I'm going to let you keep because you do such an amazing job. But I will say, even though I said those things, yes, I want fighting Democrats. Just please go out and vote. I don't give a shit what party you are, but you need to vote, and you need to think about your family and your human rights when you go to vote, because everything is at stake right now. So, yeah.
Agreed. Thank you for being here, Elizabeth. I appreciate you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
You too. I mean, that's a great example. I remember that conversation. Concerned about her ballot, and we figured out where she lived and the absentee process. So I remember that conversation. That was a great day, and that just goes to show you, right? We've got things we have to do. So, that's the goal. That is the goal. Getting more people involved. Thus, how are you today?
I'm good. I'm doing good. I hope today is not restricted to a specific subject.
It's not. It's Free Speech Friday.
Okay, yeah. I was actually thinking about the other day. First of all, very horrific the thing that we read and find out about when the files got released. But I was also I was also talking about my friends and my mutual on this app regarding the nature of the releasing of the file itself, and how we should actually analyze the releasing of the files and in a respectful way, of course, without taking away from the horrific stories and the victims, and all of these overwhelming things that we are reading about and learning about every day and more. And it just came to me my conclusion that it's something that they have done for multiple things at once. And one of the main thing, in my opinion, is to build trust with the system and the government. When you think about it, it's them telling the people that if you complain, if you protest, if you were very loud enough, in the end of the day, you will get the files in the end of the day. So the system is work, and it's them sacrificing a lot of the big fishes in the sea to maintain the same the system that is allowing such people to exist in the first place. If you understand what I'm saying. So this
I don't think I do. Are you saying that they will eventually just get around to releasing everything?
No. It's more about them using it as to build trust regarding the system itself. Like
who's
the government, the CIA, the CIA.
Bro, hang on.
Go ahead.
Who's trying to build trust by breaking the law? Because this is the 49th day that the Trump administration is breaking the law by not releasing everything. So
no,
who's
the
trying
government
to build
of
trust?
the United States itself. In my opinion, it's them building a relationship, building trust, even more trust with the people.
With who?
That the system.
Friend, listen.
Go ahead.
Listen. This is the 49th day that the government, the Trump administration, this is the 49th day they are in violation of the law. What kind of trust are they? What kind of trust are they building?
This has nothing to do. No, but this has. But what I'm saying is, it has nothing to do with only the Trump administration. That's the system that is both the Democrat and the Republican working under.
Who's trying to build the trust, and what are they doing to do it?
What?
Who is trying to build the trust, and what are they doing to do it?
The system of the government itself. that in the end of the day, it's
what
working.
system, my guy? You're not making any sense. I'm going to ask you some questions.
Okay,
I'm going to ask you some questions. Okay, so are you saying that the government is trying to build the trust of the American people?
Yes, with the system that is running. Okay,
wait. No, friend, hold on. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to help you out here because you're not making any sense.
No, I think you're just not understanding what I'm saying specifically.
Stop talking. Stop talking. You're not making yourself clear. That's why I'm asking qualifying questions. Are you saying that the government is trying to build the trust of the current government, the Trump administration? Are you saying that the Trump administration's government is trying to build trust with the American people?
No, it's not the Trump administration. Okay. Does both the Republican and the Democrat work under the same system? Yes or no?
Well, what system?
The system of governance.
What system specifically do they?
The system of the government of the U.S. of the United States of America. You have a constitution. You have multiple things that both of them they need to follow. That's why the Trump administration, for example, are breaking so many laws, right?
That's why they're breaking laws?
No. Aren't they now breaking laws? Okay. So they are breaking laws of the system of a governance of the country, right? Are you following up with me right now?
No, goodbye. I don't know what the fuck that even was. I don't have time for it today. Pragalicious, how are you today?
Good. How about yourself?
Fine, thank you. What's on your mind?
I heard several things today, and I think you'll probably agree that several things can be true at once. There can be a wing of the Democratic Party that is absolutely not fighting as hard as they could be, and there can be a wing of the Democratic Party that is progressive and doing more than they probably is even humanly capable, right? And we need to be able to differentiate between that, because people are coming up here, and it's absolutely realistic and acceptable to be underwhelmed with Democrat response right now. But giving up and just kind of like starting to get into this mentality of being overwhelmed is exactly what they want. We've been here before. We're going to be here again. The system works this way and has always worked this way. It takes a lot. There are going to be people who need to play the game to get into the system to make pragmatic changes, just as there's going to need to be people who work outside the system on the streets. So I just wanted to come up and just say we all got to just try to keep our heads together and stay focused.
Yeah, fair enough. I appreciate that. Thanks a lot for being here. I appreciate you. Pragalicious. Good name, by the way. Have a good day. Yeah, I mean, it's reasonable. I don't want people to just accept things by saying, yeah, that's just the way they are. I think that's the problem, right? So when I talk about going on the road and talking to people, my primary focus, and I haven't even necessarily shared this with our team, but I think one of the ancillary goals of this trip is to see if we can get 5,000 people registered to vote. That's kind of a goal that I want personally, to see if I can get 5,000 people who haven't voted to register. I think the point is we can't continue to say, hey, that's just the way that it is, right? That's just the way the system is, because there's 45 million or so people that are just the two sides of the same coin people, you know, the two wings of the same bird people. And I think that that's lazy politics personally, because you don't, if you are against everything, then you stand for nothing. So that's the issue, right? Stand for something. So the people that we want to speak to are the people that in that speech that I shared with you guys to start the show, right? It's the people who genuinely feel that their voices are not being heard. It's not that they don't care. It's not that they don't value things. They just don't feel like they're being heard. And that's true. And to be honest, that's a Rust Belt issue. That part of the country, when I say the Rust Belt, you know, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Wisconsin, Michigan, Minnesota, that part of the country, that was always incredibly reliable for Democratic voters, for Democratic candidates, but they kind of ignored it. They sort of took it for granted, right? And that's what happens. That's what happens. So when you abandon people that have always been there for you, from an identity perspective and from a values and ideological perspective, those people, for the most part, still believe in what your message is. They just haven't heard your message, right? They're like, shit, I support these people. And then are they not going to help me out? And then you check out because those folks don't want to vote Republican because they just don't align with their values, whatever those values are these days. So you're stuck. You're stuck in this sort of this weird black hole of politics. Those are the people that I want to talk to, because those folks, for the most part, I think are winnable voters. At the end of the day, my goal is just to get more people involved. I will take my chances with election outcomes because I just know in my heart that the majority of Americans tend to believe things that are left-leaning. Responsible approaches to firearm violence, access to health care, changes to our tax code, funding education, making sure we have a strong social safety net, protecting women's rights, protecting rights for the marginalized communities, all marginalized communities across the board, right? That's the point. So I will take my chances. If we can get people to the polls and we can get 65%, if that number goes from 65% of participation to 68 or 70 or 75%, then there's no doubt in my mind that our country will become more progressive. So that's the goal. I'll get off the soapbox. Michael, how are you today?
I'm all right. How you doing? Just asking.
Fine, thank you. What's on your mind?
Well, I mean, I tuned in. I kind of heard you talking about the upcoming elections and midterms and getting more people involved. Mm-hmm. And just to clarify, I did vote red down ballot. I voted red, just so you know.
Why?
But huh?
But why?
Why did I?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm a Second Amendment advocate. I believe in a lot of the things that conservatives believe in. I have more conservative ideology.
Well, let's back up a second. So you said Second Amendment advocate. So you must have been incredibly angry when the Kristi Noem and Stephen Miller and the president said that you shouldn't have your firearm in Minnesota. You must have been really angry about that.
Yeah,
right?
I was.
So then, what party stands to protect your Second Amendment rights more? The Republican Party or the Democrat Party?
Well, it's still the Second Amendment freedoms is the word I use. It's the Republicans, but it's not Donald Trump.
No, it's not, though.
It is.
Michael, it's not.
It is.
No, it's not. No, actually, it's not.
It is.
It's not.
It is.
Well, no, it's not. No, sir, Michael, you can continue to say that, but there's no. So is Donald Trump the leader of the Republican Party? Yes or no?
At the moment, yes.
Okay, so then when the president of the United States tells people like you that you shouldn't have had your firearm there, then that would be the Republican Party's message about your access to firearms. And don't forget, Donald Trump also said he wants to take your firearms first and then go to court. So I think in your head, Michael, you're convinced that it's the Democrats that want to take your firearms when it's actually evidentiary, it's the Republicans.
Right.
So maybe instead of believing something because you want to, maybe you look at the evidence.
Well, okay. Well, and I'm here to have a conversation. I mean, it doesn't have to be long, but I'm willing to listen and I'll be respectful. When I'm telling you, so absolutely, Donald Trump in his rhetoric is terrible and things he said in the past, because what you just brought up happened in the first administration, and then where Alex Preddy just happened, and I condemn that. I condemn Kristi Noem. Obviously, Donald Trump's not this big pro 2A guy. But if you, on the contrary, if you also look at what he's done this second administration for the Second Amendment, I think that it also tells a different story. He's done great for the Second Amendment freedoms, huh?
What did he do?
Well, I can tell you. First, this administration has legalized FRTs. We left it up to the states to legalize it. Second, one thing that Second Amendment advocates like myself.
So you can cite your source on that, right?
Yes. Second Amendment advocates like myself have for a long time had.
You can cite your source. You know what I mean by cite your source?
Yeah. I mean, if you want me to pull it up, I will.
I do.
Okay. All right. Just give me 1 second.
Okay. Can't have a conversation with you, so come back. So it's why don't you drop down, Michael, and then when you find your information.
But no, we don't have to. We don't have to just stick on that. What about the ATF? People like myself have always complained about the ATF, especially since Waco and Ruby Ridge especially. Even in Waco, Texas, too, we've complained about the ATF and getting rid of the ATF, and Donald Trump has cut funding towards the ATF. So I think that's a good thing.
Okay, well, okay. So, but what does the ATF do, Michael?
Well, it's the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and I don't know if I can say fire. You know what? But,
firearms. Yeah. So, but what do they do? What do they do?
Infringe on our Second Amendment rights. That's what they do. That's
your. But is that what they do, Michael, or is that just your opinion as to what they do?
It's my opinion, but.
Okay, so then maybe when you say things like that, maybe you say it's my opinion that the ATF does that. That's not what they do. That's not what they do. See, this is my point, Michael. This is my point. So, would you believe that? Do you believe that people on the left also support the Second Amendment?
Yeah, not as much as we do on the right, but yeah, they do. Yeah.
How do you know? How do you know that? How do you know?
Because the people on the right advocate for Second Amendment. You got to listen to my verbiage. Second Amendment freedoms. We don't really believe in regulation. That's what I'm telling you. Freedoms.
Well, what are the first four words of the Second Amendment?
A well-regulated militia.
Stop. Well-regulated, right?
Regulated in the 18th century. Well-regulated. The definition in the 18th century is not the definition of today. That's where you're wrong. Wrong.
Michael, I'm not wrong. Those are the words.
In the 18th century.
Wait a minute. Wait. Michael. Okay. It doesn't matter what. Are you a constitutionalist?
Yes, I believe the first 10 amendments are the most important amendments.
Michael. If you want to have a conversation, you're not going to steamroll.
Okay.
So if you're an absolutist, right, and you are a constitutionalist, then you don't get to pick and choose by saying this language from this particular era applies, but it doesn't apply now. This era or this language from this particular amendment applied then, but it doesn't apply now. A well-regulated militia, who regulates it?
That's not what it meant in the 18th century. Is what I'm telling you.
That's not the question I asked you, Michael.
Right,
That's not the question Michael, you have to answer questions, man. You have to answer questions. Who regulates it?
The people. It's about the people. We regulate
It's about the people?
It's about the people. Yes, that's what I'm saying. You must not know the Second Amendment. That's why you're doing that.
Oh, I guarantee I know more about the Second Amendment.
I promise you don't.
I guarantee it.
I promise you don't.
I guarantee I do.
You want to bet?
I guarantee
Let's make a bet.
I'll bet you. How do you bet? Because you know what? If I took a bet with every person who's a MAGA voter who lost their bet, I'd be a billionaire. So tell me why we have the Second Amendment. Tell me why.
Okay, so the reason that you'll see in our textbooks and our history books, it has everything.
I'm asking you to tell me why. I'm asking you to tell me why, in your opinion. I want you to tell me why we have the Second Amendment.
Well, it gives the people a fighting chance, to empower us to have arms against government tyranny, a tyrannical government.
That's incorrect.
No, it's not.
Incorrect. You want to know why?
The Supreme Court already ruled on it.
Do you want to know why I know that?
I mean, you could say your opinion, but I have Supreme Court precedent.
No, it's not about my opinion. Do you want to know why I know?
It better go with the Supreme Court, what they said.
My guy, do you want to know why I know that?
Yeah, you can give me your opinion. Go ahead.
It's not my opinion. It's not my opinion. The Constitution tells us that if you take up arms against the government, it's called the treason clause. If you take up arms against the government, you then could be executed for treason. Did you know that?
Yeah, but that's different than what we're talking about.
Why is that different, Michael? Explain to me. Let me try to get inside the pretzel logic of your brain. Tell me why that's different. Did you even know the treason clause? Wait a minute. Did you even know the treason clause existed?
Yeah, I talk to Brett Cross all the time. All the time.
So, okay, and that's I'm sure Brett's dunked on you numerous times as
well. He's never
right?
dunked on me because statistics are never on his side. But either way,
what statistics, Michael? The fact that firearms are the number one cause of death for the children between 1 and 18.
Yeah, but that's nuanced. You have to add what does that
it's
show?
It's nuanced.
Are you gonna? Do you want to talk about the facts or no? Do you want to talk about statistics or no?
When are you going to tell me there are when am I going to hear some facts?
Okay, great. Can we break down the statistics? Yes or no is what I'm asking because I have them right here.
Again, is the number one cause of death for children between the ages of 1 and 18 firearms, yes or no?
Yes, but there's more to that.
Yes. So get the fuck out of here. You don't give a shit. Get the fuck out of here. I cannot stand that fucking argument. I cannot stand it. I absolutely cannot stand that argument. Airwolf said earlier how I remain calm. That's one way for me not to remain calm. I cannot stand that conversation. Absolutely hate it. Ridiculous. Yeah, okay. I hate facts. Right, got it. Drop Zone, how are you today?
I'm doing well. I was actually just calling because I was talking to my husband yesterday about the SAVE Act and how it looks like, I don't know, it might pass. And I was
I don't know, because I think they're going to try to attach it to the DHS spending bill, and I don't think that's going to fly.
Okay. Well, that's at least relieving. It was just kind of worrisome with it being right before midterm elections, especially here in Texas, to, cut out a lot of our more liberal voters, our women voting here in Texas.
Yeah,
it's disturbing.
And I don't think it's going to pass. Yeah, I think it's going to be very difficult for it to pass in the Senate, because you're going to need Democrat votes, because it's not filibuster proof. So I don't think it's going to pass the Senate.
All right. Well, that's relieving to hear. I'll definitely keep my ear out for it going into a DHS bill. Thank you very much for your time. I also just kind of wanted to bring the SAVE Act to other people's attention, because that's been going on for a few years now, and the idea of it passing is just stressful at the least.
I agree. We'll keep our eyes on it. We'll report on it every day. I think they've been trying to get this passed for a long time, and I think that should tell people there's never been this appetite. And when the president then goes out on the record and says that we should be nationalizing elections, that's not a winnable argument, especially for swing districts back home. So I think I would be very surprised if Republicans voted for this. Very surprised.
Thank you very much
for being here. Drop Zone. You got it. Have a good day. Be safe out there. So crazy that I'm not gonna have that conversation. But anyway, come hell or high water, women will vote. Yeah, I hope so. Hi, Bunny. Baked, are you there? I guess not. You don't get to pick and choose. Like, you can't say, oh, Republicans are more. Give me a break. The two presidents have done the most to take away two-way rights are Ronald Reagan and Donald Trump. Give me a break. It's fucking wild.
Hello.
Oh, we got a commie in the house. How you doing, friend?
Almost, not quite. I'm on my way. Maybe. I'm being heavily swayed. I don't really have anything to say. I just haven't requested in a while, so I thought I'd come up and say hi. You're doing great.
It's Free Speech Friday.
It's Free Speech Friday. Let me think.
Did you see what our dear leader posted overnight? You probably saw that.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that's where are we? How did we get to that? How did we get to where? And I guess I'm understanding that they're not necessarily excusing it, but they're gonna be excusing that he didn't do it. They don't know who did it. Somebody. A staffer did it, right? And I'm like, I posted this in our little thingy. I said, they would say that aliens, from outer space, came down and hacked his account before they would.
Can I give you the key? Can I give you the keys to the car for a second? I'll be right back.
Oh yeah, sure. Well, hello. Okay, so now that he's gone, I have no mod powers or anything, so I can't really do anything. Yeah, I don't know. How did we get here? I don't know. I haven't had time to go. He posted an image of Michelle and Barack Obama on some animals, essentially depicting them as. I mean, I'm sure you can understand from that what I'm trying to say. I don't even want to say it. I just don't even want to say it. It makes me feel so icky and gross. I just can't. Yeah, and I think, so it's Free Speech Friday. I don't know. Today I would sit back and here's what I would say on my advice on that is I would sit back and try and listen and take notes on what they're doing. Or not even give them the space to talk about it. Because it's when we try to make sense of things that don't make sense, it's the most physically exhausting thing that can happen. And that's something that I've been learning to do, is how to stop having the conversation when it's not going anywhere, or when you're trying to make sense of something that you cannot make sense of. Because you can't make sense of it. That's just blatant hate, racism, and bigotry. That's all it is. There's no fucking excuse for it, period. And
none.
There's no debate.
You're right. My concern is it just becomes normalized. And that's the part that bothers me the most, right? There's just people are just so exhausted by having to address it every single day. And it becomes normalized, and we just can't let it be. Cannot let it be.
That's also a good point too, right? Like, and I think that's just, we're all trying to figure out how to navigate this. And there is a playbook from history, right? But we're dealing with, different people too. Like, there's no playbook on how to do this. And everybody's trying to do their best, but yeah. So now that the tone has been taken down to, I like your pink hoodie. You look great in your pink hoodie. It looks great with your silver hair and your black frames. So.
Thank you. I appreciate you very much.
Okay, I'm gonna
drop live today.
Yeah, I will be going live.
Okay. Well, we'll raid you later.
Yeah, and maybe
yeah.
Apparently, our friend from last night now wants to debate me one-on-one on abortion.
Really?
So,
bro, I'll moderate.
Yeah.
Let me know.
Yeah, I'm not gonna have who moderate because I doubt she'll come to my platform. So I will suggest you then if she wants a moderator.
I'm happy to do it. I'm fair.
Okay.
You know that.
All righty. Okay.
I appreciate
I'll talk to you later.
Have a good day. Talk to you later. All right. Bye.
You too. Bye.
Yeah, that was an interesting. Sorry, Ash. That was an interesting. Cut some of that. That was that was pretty fucking wild, I must say. It is Free Speech Friday, friends. Thanks for joining us. Good morning, friend. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you, handsome face? Hi, everybody at the Common Sense Academy of Facts. I wanted to speak on Trump's post regarding the Obamas, and I wanted to just say, as a Black person, it's not a shocker.
No.
I feel like, in a way, it's a dog whistle. And when I say that, the way I read it is like, he can't get anywhere with the immigration. So now he's poking now even more. He's trying, because we haven't done much. Hey, Betty Pitch. Hey, beautiful. We haven't been out in the streets. A lot of us have taken the stance of resting. And I know his administration is aware of that. I feel like this post maybe is supposed to piss us off as well. To a point where, we're like, oh no, not Barack, not them. It's such a, making them out as what they will stereotypically, claim us to be, all of those type of things. But what he fails to realize is that we have advanced so much, not only in so many ways, but also just generationally, to the point where, like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, our mentality has matured to a way where, and I think we are now more emotionally mature, to the point where it's like, I don't think we're desensitized. It's just like, okay, like, you haven't, it's not there. You're not, we get it. We get the disrespect. Yeah. We get what you're doing, but the antagonization is so normal, to where that when we get
it's like a yawn for you. Like, yeah. What else is there?
What else is new? Just like they come up here on even on some Black people's live, and they say the N word and all of that, and no one reacts. You get what I'm saying? Because it's like, okay,
I do.
You get what I'm saying? It's like, we're okay.
I do.
What do you want us to do? We're not going to lose our life because you made a post.
No.
So it's
no. I think from my perspective, I think it's just the way my brain works. It's just I'm trying to figure out how people are going to defend it. And I think the answer is they're not going to defend it. They're going to laugh about it. They're going to say he was just kidding or it was a staffer. They won't address it. That's the part that I was saying earlier about how it's become normalized. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally agree. And I agree with you with that, how it has become normalized amongst everyone. I believe that the normalization or the spectrum of the normalization is different, but it's still a sense of normalization, which is sad. But when it comes to Black people and the reference of that particular animal, that's always been normalized. So just because it's a post by the president of the United States, it doesn't shake us. But I do look at it in a deeper way of now it's like, all right, y'all, just be more, pay more attention. You know what I mean? Because he does have a following. So the more he disrespects us, the more the people outside in society that is parallel with his beliefs are going to feel emboldened to disrespect us. I feel like a lot of people, like before Trump, you didn't really have it as bold. Not saying it wasn't there, but it wasn't as blatant. Once he came into the White House, it became extremely overt, if that makes sense. It's just it emboldened those people because they felt protected in their beliefs, or they felt protected in whatever they believe, to the point where if the president say you ain't shit, then I feel like you ain't shit.
Yeah, I think that's the part, right? I think well, you don't need me to tell you this, but
No,
from my
go ahead.
observation, from my observation, it's always been there.
Correct.
But to your point, the president of the United States can just say it overtly and publicly, and then use his social media platform, so then anybody who's ever had their obvious racism just below the surface, now they're loud and proud about it.
And that puts us more at risk, because now the belief of those people is that you already don't think we're human, or however you may want to believe, however some may believe, but when you feel like you're supported in your bullshit, you're going to continue to do the bullshit, which means we become the prey.
Agreed.
And I feel like,
agreed,
as a person of color, we need to look at this as a way of, okay, strap up a little tighter. You get what I'm saying? And when I say strap up, I mean strap up your bootstraps a little bit tighter. Pay more attention to your surroundings. Because if he can't get to anybody else, he's definitely going to try to get to us. And because we are already a community or a society of trauma, there's just certain things we are going to react to. And I just want to make it clear that we continue to stay 10 toes down. We continue to stay strong, and we continue to help our allies as well, if you feel emboldened to do so. You know what I mean? But just be aware of where you are. Stay aware. And this is also for other marginalized societies as well, such as white women. Be aware, even white men that are on the left, or that believes, what's going on is right, and they're out there protecting other people. Just be careful. He's going to get more erratic. He's going to get more on the edge. And I just feel like, just be, if you want to get a Truth Social account just to be on point, do what you got to do. You know what I mean? But just stay on top of what's going on, because
stay diligent.
Yeah, stay diligent. The more we push, the more he's going to push. That's just how he is. And I just, just wanted to make it clear that he ain't shaking nobody because of that post. And it just shows his character and who he is, And Facts, you just keep being fine.
Thank you, Prisha. I appreciate you very much, friend. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. Have a good Friday. Be safe out there,
too.
Okay?
Love you guys. Bye.
See you later. All right, bye. So a great point, right? I mean, and that's the biggest thing for me, right? It's just the permission. I think somebody said this in the chat. It's the permission that people who are bona fide racists, right, are just being like, yep, totally see it. Totally see it. Like nothing to see here. It's totally fine, right? Nothing to see here. That's my concern. V, how are you today?
Hi, Steve. How are you?
I'm fine. What's on your mind?
So the stunt that he pulled this morning on True Social just kind of makes me really miss the type of president that wouldn't do that. And like in other words, I really miss President Obama because he was the type of president that this type of stuff would never happen. You know what I mean?
President Biden too. Yeah, President Biden as well. I mean, President Bush for that matter. I mean, people just don't do these kinds of things, right? It's just, it's just not something you do.
It's just something you don't do. And it's just like crossing that, that line where a president is supposed to be held to a higher standard, is supposed to have integrity and ethics and leadership and emotional intelligence. This man lacks any type of emotional restraint. Whenever he feels wronged or he feels like somebody is, questioning him, he goes after them. I just miss the type of president that would never let this thing fly and would not make us look like the laughing stock of the whole world and would have people questioning their alliances with us. It just doesn't. I mean, I do understand it. I know that the people at the top are the ones that essentially paid for it for somebody to be there. But I just miss a president that is a leader, that is a supporter, that truly wants the best for his American citizens. You know what I mean? Like that type of
agreed. Yeah, I mean,
so it makes me kind of sad, like where did we go?
It's that line between sadness and anger, and that's why we have to continue to raise up voices. But thanks for jumping in today, V. I appreciate you for being here. Have a good day. Be safe out there. You got it. All right, you too. Take care. That's the thing, right? Wake up. I have a True Social account. I do some trolling over there. My True Social handle, by the way, is Jack Smith's bitch. Anyway, that's the point to me. You wake up every single day and you see something coming from the president of the United States. You see things like this. You would expect them from a Groyper community, or you would accept that post from somebody who's a published racist, not the president of the United States, right? That's the part that I think everybody is just losing their shit over. And I don't even know how losing their shit's wrong term. I think you know what I mean. It's just unacceptable. Balancing, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Fine, thank you. What's on your mind?
I just, I was reminiscing. I'm 35 years old, and in 2008 was the first election I was able to vote in. I turned 18 in August of that year, so it was a big deal to be able to vote in November. And I just remember those last, 3 months of the competition for president. I remember the town halls, I remember the debates, and I remember not thinking either one was a bad choice. I remember John McCain. I had a lot of respect for him as a war hero and all of that. And admittedly, at that time, my parents were voting for McCain, and I also voted for McCain at that time. But I remember watching the election come in at my student union. I was in college in Vermont, and when Obama won, we were all sitting in there, we were all having food. There was the, Republican Students Council, there was the Democrat Students Council. We were all together, and when Obama won, we all celebrated because he was also a good choice, and they had sparklers, and we all had a lot of fun that night, and a little underage, not supposed to do it kind of drinking going on, but we had a lot of fun. And
no, that never
happens, 18-year-olds. But, we had so much fun. And, I miss the days when either choice would have been a respectable option. I miss the days when you could celebrate your quote unquote team losing. Of course, I've never adhered to either party. I've always voted independently, and I voted for Obama in 2012, to continue what he was doing. So it's never been about teams for me. And I really thought most people, it wasn't so much of a team sport. Like I really, when I was younger, I thought it was pick the one that you felt best in your heart and don't worry about if there's an R or a D by their name. And then, you start listening to people and you realize people take this really seriously as like, you gotta win. Like it's their own sake winning, and it's so sad because I miss having either choice being someone dignified to represent us to the world. That's the sad part now is we have a president who I don't feel proud that he's representing us. I never have since his first election. And I feel for the 18-year-olds now going into adulthood, and they've never seen anything quite so polite between candidates. They've never seen people that they can look up to, who have, dignity, really. It's the dignity of humanity, and we don't have that anymore. And I'm really proud of these high schoolers marching out. People are making fun of them. People are acting like they're horrible. And I'm like, if I didn't have to go to a job 6 days a week and I had some, extra time on my hands, I would have done that too. And I'm so proud as a millennial to see these younger kids taking things into their own hands when they're going to inherit what's going on right now as adults.
Yeah, it's a great perspective. Thanks for sharing that this morning, friend. I appreciate you being here. Have a good day. Be safe out there.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, it is one of those things, right? Like I miss the days where I'd love to be able to sit across the table from someone and just debate, just a really just energetic, passionate debate about education policy. I see you, buddy. I got you in a second. About immigration policy or economic policy or how we fund public education or healthcare. I want that. I mean, I think we all want that, right? And I disagreed with John McCain's politics for sure. I did, but you couldn't deny that he was an honorable person. I mean, he himself even defending Barack Obama on the campaign trail, which is part of why Barack Obama gave his eulogy. Those days are gone, right? Those days are just gone, and I don't know how we come back from it unless we ourselves decide that we have to demand better. And that's, again, part of do something, getting more people involved politically, because the more people that benefit from something, the more people will continue to support that something, whatever that something is. I'm going to bring you up a second, Bunny, hang tight. Where are you? Everybody keep tapping and sharing, please. Appreciate you. There we go. We should want that, right? You want energetic, legitimate political discourse. You want people to be defending their positions, not having to try to, not spending, 90 minutes discussing the president of the United States posting something so unbelievably racist, right? And then half the country, maybe not half, but 77 million people knew that going in. They just denied it. They just denied its existence. And that's the part to me that I just think we have a long reckoning, a massive reckoning. We'll see. Everybody keep tapping, please. Mama B, how are you today? Mama B, are you there?
Oh, I think that was a mistake. Sorry, Steve.
No problem. Thank you. Have a good day. We have to do better. I don't know how else to describe it other than that, right? We cannot. It just can't be normalized. It can't be. It can't be normalized that masked federal agents, LEOs, are murdering U.S. citizens on the streets of an American city. That is not normal. It is not acceptable to be using the power of the White House to delegitimize the press. It's not normal. It's just not. It's just not. It's not normal for the president of the United States to use the Department of Justice as his personal law form, investigative arm. It's just not normal. Bringing in, a former president. And by the way, I don't think James Comer knows what he's gotten himself into by basically saying the Clintons need to testify. Hillary Clinton pushed back and said, okay, we'll come, but we're going to do this publicly. And there's no way in hell Republicans are going to agree to that. There's no fucking way in hell. So now you've set a precedent, Jim. Now you've set a precedent. Now you've set the precedent that if a former president is subpoenaed and they don't show up for their hearing, then they're subject to contempt. You did this, Jim, which is partly why the president's kind of been like, yeah, it's a shame that happened. No way in hell do they want that to happen. No way in fucking hell do they want the Clintons to testify. The Oversight Committee, again, because they're led by incompetent fucks, they've created this mess, and now they're going to have to live with it. Now they're going to have to live with it. Let's see. Loka Mocha, how are you today?
Good morning. I wanted to share a little something. So my son is hardcore MAGA, like hardcore, and we've had some difficult conversations where we've both literally walked. He's 34, and we've literally walked out of the room from each other angry over the years. But lately, our conversations have been more common. Like, we've gotten along, we've talked about things, and he literally told me the other day the things that he's seeing Trump post and the things that people are saying has really got him kind of upset. Like, he's starting to see it, you know what I mean? And he literally told me the other day, he said, I don't really care who it is, like we were talking about Epstein and different things like that. He said, I don't care if it's Trump himself. If he's on those files, he needs to be held accountable. Like, I was shocked that he said that, you know, but he's starting to see it. And he says, it's not anything that you say. He said, they're telling on themselves by the things that they're posting and the things that they're talking about. And not just Republicans. I'm talking about the party. Like, he's watching what Trump is saying, right? And he's like, what is going on? He himself is saying, what is going on? Like, that's not how a president should be.
Did it take the Jeffrey files for him to come to that realization?
It kind of did, yeah. But I'm just in awe that I'm really proud of him, actually, because he's come a long ways, and he's never going to turn completely against MAGA, I don't think, but he's starting to come around. And some of the talking points that I've had came literally from what I've heard from you and your panel talking, trying to stay calm when I talk to him and not get emotional. I've kind of got some of that from you too, so thank you. But the other day he literally looked at me and he said, I really wish that America could not be so separate and we could sit and talk the way you and I do and not get upset, not get emotional, but just sit and have a conversation. He said, I miss that. And I'm like, wow, I was blown away. Like, so thank you for helping me talk to him.
Like, if he ever wants to join me some morning, or if he just wants to have a private conversation offline, I'm happy to do it.
Yeah, I'll send him your way if he's willing. But like I said, he's still really on that side, but he's starting to see the light, and they're doing it to their own people. Like, we don't really, you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like, a lot of them are starting to see it just by what they're seeing from their own people. And
correct. Even though they know it's been like this, they're not. I think now it's all kind of coming together in a strange, twisted way. You know, the rhetoric about not being able to bring your firearm to a protest, even though they've defended the 2A for years, and promises about the release of the J files, and the economy's in this shitter, and you know, we're losing jobs at record levels not seen in 25 years, and all that kind of stuff is just. I don't know. Maybe, you know, it doesn't take a lot. We're not talking because the margins are so narrow in our country. It doesn't take a lot of people to change their mind to start winning elections again.
I'm just like, even if it's one thing that he and I can come to terms with and agree on. And I told him, I said, here's the thing that I see is between the right and the left or whatever. I said, a lot of us agree on the same things. We're just saying it different ways. And I do believe that. I believe that we do see a lot of things the same way. It's just coming out different ways. And that's creating the divisions. Like, you know, we're not all just sitting down and talking calmly.
I don't think it's that we see things the same way. I think there are things that we care about equally. We just don't look at them the same way.
Yes, yes.
So, like, for example, I think people see healthcare costs and they don't want to pay as much of their healthcare, but they're not yet on board to embrace universal healthcare, for example.
Right.
So that's a challenge. But thanks for jumping in. Thanks for jumping in today. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Requested, but you too. Thanks a lot for being here. I appreciate you. It's a great perspective, right? Obviously, we want to change minds, of course, but I just don't want people to be. I'm concerned that people are just going to accept this as normal, and we just can't allow that to happen. Fingers crossed. Wildly Savage, how are you today?
Morning, Steve. I'm good. How are you? Can you hear me?
I can. Thanks for being here. What's on your mind?
I just wanted to reiterate a previous guest. I can't recall her name. She's come up frequently. Black woman. Shout outs to her. And the rest of the 92%, which I am a part of. We have been playing our part accordingly. So I just wanted to reiterate that point because this morning was funny. The post. It's funny that, we're still being attacked. We've been quiet. We've been minding our business. We've been staying in our own lane. And there it is. Shout out to our Forever Flotus for her Netflix documentary as well. We're going to continue running up those numbers to prove our point. But we can't be fooled anymore, as the previous guest stated. So everybody stay the course. You are not going to enrage us into stepping out into harm. It's not going to happen anymore. We're wiser. We're smarter. Shout out to you for the work that you do. That helps to remind us of what we can do, should do, what we should be doing daily. And TikTok has played a big part in opening people's eyes. So thank you for everybody that does that work. Even to the racists on here, showing their racism, like that teaches us like, okay, this is still out there. It still exists. It's out in the open. And we're not desensitized, but we're aware. So we move accordingly and we move differently, right?
Differently.
All right. Keep up the good work, guys. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you, friend. I appreciate you being here. Have a good day. Be safe out there. It's a really good perspective, right? It's interesting because I know there are creators here that will platform. Will people, turn your camera on? RJ's great at this. It's not my thing. He's great at it. Expose yourself, show your face, and most people won't do it. When pressed, they won't do it, or they would never do it in public, right? It's their safe space, and that is the the good and the bad of this space, right? I know that there's lots of things that we need to deal with in regards to the suppression, and we'll do the best. We'll fight through it. We're smart. In our little community here, we're smart. We figure out ways to navigate around things and how we'll drop subtle references. My volume is low. Sorry about that. I'm probably just speaking quietly today. I'll speak up. I've never been told that I'm too quiet. That's for sure. I worry a little bit that I just don't want to give platforms to people who are bona fide racists, right? That's my concern. I don't want to give them platforms. That's just me. Like, I'm not, you never know necessarily. You never really know what's going to happen in a conversation. So I do have a short trigger finger when it comes to things like that, just because I care about this community and I don't want to be a person who helps perpetuate the spread of harm and bullshit. But sometimes it's just got to be called out, and that's how it works. So, Joanne, how are you this morning?
I'm well. Thank you for having me.
Sure.
I just want my thoughts on this awful depiction this morning. We talk a lot about generational trauma, and I feel that this country has the generational racism. I think children are brought into families and they reiterate what their parents feel and what their parents say and how their parents act. And it's it's another generational cycle that, just like generational trauma and generational wealth, it's probably, well, I don't think we'll ever get to the bottom of it because it's so deeply ingrained in these people. I don't want to stay on long, but I work with a woman who is MAGA and she has 2 young children. And there's times that I hear her talking to other people about Trump and, about being on the right. And they're so proud of it. They're just so proud of it that, just like generational trauma, it is just so ingrained in this country and has been forever.
Yeah. Country's built on it. Yeah. Thanks for jumping in today, Joanne. I appreciate
Thank
you being
you.
here.
Have a
Thanks for
good
your
day.
support. You do the same. For those of you that are just joining us and you don't know exactly what it is that we're discussing, the President of the United States put this on True Social last night. It was a video, and the music playing behind the video was "The Lion Sleeps Tonight," in the jungle. And this was what the President of the United States decided to do during, well, at any time, but in particular during Black History Month. Yeah. And there's been quite a bit of reaction, interestingly enough. And of course, the people who are in the orbit, those people who have, those same people that believe there needs to be a camera in the room witnessing sexual assault for them to believe it, and even then they wouldn't. Those same people now are attempting to try to defend this, right? Yeah. And Jess, thanks for this. And there's a lot of posts that are people that are replying to this. And I saw some comments this morning. There's a couple of comments on True Social. Yikes, President Trump, we can do better than racism, can't we? This just makes all MAGA folks look bad. Ship Randa, Trump, you need to look at the last second of the video. Very bad move showing the Obamas as apes. You need to fix this. Fab Garcia responded, can't believe I voted for you, Mr. President. It's a new low every day. This is beneath the office of the president and the position of trust that MAGA has invested in you. You are a disingenuous POS. There goes the midterms and Republicans. It's sad. Yikes, President Trump. We can do better than racism, can't we? You're not going to get any sympathy from me because we fucking told you. You defended it every day. Oh, no, he's not a racist. That's not racist. The problem is racists don't think that's racist. Bigots don't think it's bigotry. When you say things about marginalized communities, transphobic statements, homophobic, I'm talking, dog whistles, you don't think those things are homophobic or transphobic because you're a homophobe or a transphobe. You see, that's how it works. So when we talk about Donald Trump's decades of racism, you would say that's not racist. Just like with Charlie Kirk, his comments he's made about black and brown people. You don't think that's racist because you're racist. You don't like it, then don't be a racist. Same thing tracks. Maybe men should stop raping women. So that you wouldn't have to say these disparaging things about women. What was she wearing? Why was she there? She should have known better. Maybe if white men in particular weren't the ones leading the charge raping women, we wouldn't have this problem. But nope, that's just a bridge too far, right? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The President of the United States posted this. Enough said. Good morning.
Good morning.
Blue
How
Dot.
are you?
Hi.
Yes. Can you hear me?
I'm fine, thank you. How you doing? I can, yes.
Okay. Trump is like the most racist president. I swear. Like, it's a new low every day. And as a green card holder living in this country, I've never been so afraid. I've been here since 1967. It's just, This isn't the country that my parents brought me to. I swear to God, I'm trying not to cry. It breaks my heart.
It's okay. Let it out. I got you.
Where do we go from here?
We work.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. You have a lot of background noise. There's a big echo, friend. That's better.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. I get it. I mean, I want this to turn into, I want this anger to turn into a response that is, again, we can't take the bait. Okay, we cannot take the bait. We have to, again, I'm going to drop you down, Blue Dot. Thanks for being here. Again, I want us to learn from our black and brown brothers and sisters, because this is nothing fucking new to them every single day. I love this statement. Got to move differently, right? And now we're finally getting reactions from white America when we see this shit. Now this is it. And because it just happens to be the president of the United States, you now consider that unacceptable? Where was the anger before? Are we ever going to learn from our black brothers and sisters, especially black women? They give us the fucking script every fucking day. Every fucking day. And you know damn well they're going to be there fighting again. And what are we going to do? What are white people going to do? I can't. We need the collective. We need people to be calling this fucking shit out. Learn from black women in particular. Every fucking time, I've said this every single day, and I am so grateful I have learned so much from my black sisters about how to move differently. And just nothing new. Nothing new. And now, because white America is now being murdered in the streets of American cities, is that finally showing people what our black brothers and sisters have been facing every fucking day? Every day? Donald Trump did not make America like this. Because America is like this is why we got Donald Trump. That's the statement. Question is, what are we going to do? Are we just going to continue to just ignore it? Or are you willing to get fucking dirty? Figuratively, literally, I don't care. It's part of the reason that I want to go on the road. It's part of the reason we're doing this Do Something tour, just to talk to people who feel like they're, I mean, listen, my conversations could be challenging. They could get really rough. They could get really angry. I'm going to use my privilege, and I am going to use it. If that's the last thing I do, I'm going to fucking use it. Can't do it by myself. We need everybody calling this shit out. Nowhere. People cannot run from this. And my fear is white America is not going to stand up, by and large. That's my concern. My concern is based on historical precedents, unfortunately. So, that's the plan. It just makes me, I just get gutted when I hear about it, and I don't know. It's your day. Free Speech Friday. Hi, Betty. How you doing?
Hey, Facts. Thanks for having me up. I just want to, first of all, I was online last night when this broke. And it just, I still don't even know how to feel. I am aware that this is not news to everyone, but when it's so blatant, when it's so overt. But I just want to remind my fellow white queens that this is this is not the only way that racism shows its face. This is not the only way. It's not always so blatant. And we need to make sure we are educating our children, our family members, the people who are with our privileged skin tone, what racism looks like, because it doesn't only look like the president posting this. It looks, it's much more insidious. And as white people, a lot of us grew up with this idea of racism that is not the reality. You know, we grew up with the idea that racism just means you don't like somebody of another race. And that's not what reality is. And we need to make sure we are doing what we can in our own communities to fix that definition, to change the definition, to make people understand what racism really is. And that has to begin with us. It has to, because it cannot begin with the people who have been screaming about it for decades and centuries. It has to begin with us. And that's really all I have to say.
Thanks for sharing that, Betty. I appreciate you being here. Thanks a lot. I want people, listen, it's how we historically, we in white America have reacted to these kinds of things, right? It's like you'll watch the news and you'll get angry in your living room, or you'll hear statements made by bona fide racists or white supremacists, or you'll watch social media feeds from white nationalist groups marching, with their masks and their flags around American cities. And then what? And then what? You flip to your favorite cable show? You Netflix and chill? Are we finally going to stand up? Because the reason the president is doing this, who the fuck's going to stop him? Who's going to speak out against it? He knows that a large chunk of his base is absolutely fucking racist. And he's catering to it. He doesn't care. He doesn't give a shit. He doesn't care. Question then becomes, again, white America. What the fuck are we going to do? What are we going to do? If you are angered by this, then you have a choice to make as to how you're going to react. The lesson that I continue to learn from the Black queens that I'm so grateful that are in my life is that, yeah, tell us something we don't know already. They still move through it. They still fucking show up. It's still there. They are fighting for us. What the fuck are we doing for them? Guess we'll see. I guess we'll see. Hi, Mia.
Hi, Fax. How are you?
How you doing? I'm all right. What's going on? What's on your mind?
I just want to let y'all know that, like, the thing is, I'm not angry about this post. And the reason why I'm not angry about this post is because I'm more angry with the people who are shocked by this post. Because it's been right in front of your faces this entire time. And it's just like, no, he's just rude. No, he just speaks his mind. No, sometimes he's not serious. That's not what he meant. It's taken out of context. And the thing is, there's going to be so many people.
How can that be taken out of context, right?
Yeah.
How can that be taken out of context?
And it's been up since like midnight.
Mm-hmm.
Eastern Standard Time. And here's the thing. This is the type of stuff that we experience daily. And when people are like, oh, Obama was divisive. No, what was divisive was the fact that you realized, or people realized, how racist they actually were, and they had to be quiet about it. We had someone ask Manny, well, what's the problem with me being racist if I'm nice to you? And that's legitimately how people see this. It's like, what's the point if I'm nice? Why does it matter if I'm racist if I'm nice? But then people are also they're so hurt by being called a racist, but not moved by why they are being called a racist, or the actions that they, or the words, or the harm that they cause on communities. They don't care about that. They just care about the label of being called racist, misogynistic, bigoted.
Point. They just don't like the word, right? They don't like the word. They've never bothered to unpack the reason why the word has been hung on them, you know?
Yeah. And so we're sitting here and the other one is privilege. Well, I had a hard life. And as soon as you ask them that one question, well, was your hard life because of your skin color? And they're just and
yeah, right over the head.
Yeah. So I would like you all to know this is a daily occurrence, especially for us that are online talking to people. This is a daily occurrence. These are the same people that are like, nah, he's not racist. There's no way. So I encourage you all to continue to look. Don't go into black spaces and ask what you can do. Don't make us do your emotional or psychological mental labor. Go read a book. Go Google it. I know AI a little bit racist, but it might help you out somewhere. But it's okay to ask questions, but it's also okay to take that break and be like, damn, I might actually, I see that racism right there. I see it shining through. That's why I'm uncomfortable. It's not the word, it's the action. And contrary to popular belief, I am Black, so I know a lot of people get my voice a little confuzzled, but I'm saying this because this isn't new to us. It's not. A lot of people with the shock value that's what I'm really irritated about. Is because we have been trying to tell you and show you this entire time. But thank you for letting me up, Steve.
As always, Mia. It's a pleasure.
I'm trying not to fangirl right now because I'm not trying to center a white man. But hey, Steve. But anyways, yeah, Google it, read a book, find yourself in Black spaces. And if you feel uncomfortable, remember it's growing pains. But don't go up on the panel. You. Just listen.
Agreed.
Sit and listen.
Listen to learn. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me. Okay? Thank you.
You got it. Talk to you later.
Bye. Right.
Bye. No notes. It's not for me to even suggest any. Lots of people requesting. I'll try to get to everybody today if I can. Everybody hang tight. Spuds, how are you? Spuds, how are you today?
Good. How are you?
Fine, thank you. What's on your mind?
This is my first time up. I'm pretty disgusted with our country.
Okay.
I watch you pretty much every day.
Thank you.
I don't understand what's going on. Let me take my earbuds out quick.
Is it that you don't understand, or it's It's interesting that's an interesting thing to say. You don't understand. I think we all understand, right? We all understand. I think maybe now it's just they're playing in our faces with it. Right?
Yeah. I'm 54. I'm here close to your age. I have 3 daughters. I can't put my head around what's going on. It just does not make sense. I grew up in a small town in Upper Michigan that I didn't grow up around any other races besides white. And I think the first time I met a black person, I was in my 20s. And never had any ill feelings towards them. I do not understand this racist shit that's going on that makes 0 sense.
Well, okay. It's a privilege. This is going to be some tough love. It's a privileged stance for you to say that because it's always been there. I grew up in one of the whitest states in America, and I am intimately aware because I wanted to study history and learn because it's always been going on. Our country was built on it. Our country was built by people who, are you a white man?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Our country was built by people who look like you and me, to benefit people who look like you and me, to protect people who look like you and me. It's always been there. Our country was built on white supremacy and racism. I don't know how you've not been able to see that.
Well, I've seen it, and but I thought by now, 2026, this would not be continuing. I just don't understand.
Why would you think that, though? But why would you think that?
Well, when I voted for Obama, everybody said that divided people, and I didn't understand that because
who said that? You know who said that? Racist said
people
that.
Around me. Yes, I understand that, but I gave him the chance to see what would happen. I guess it's just hard for me to grasp why the hate is so strong right now. I don't think Obama divided us. I think it got divided because he was black. I understand that part of it, but I don't understand by so many years later, it is almost worse than when Obama was president.
Well, why do you think that is?
Well, I don't know. I really don't. It's hard for me to understand.
I mean, are you sure you don't know? Like, are you sure you don't know? I mean, let's just unpack it for a second, right? Let's unpack it. When Donald Trump comes down the escalator, he talked about Obama's birth certificate. He talked about Muslim bans. He said, go back to your shithole countries. Have you not been paying attention for the last decade?
Yes, but I thought there was more intelligent people out there than to follow that. I guess, I really didn't. I didn't realize it was as bad as it is.
That's on you.
And as far as
that's on you for not paying attention.
Well, I mean, I did pay attention. I just really, I guess I was being willfully ignorant. I don't know. Thinking
this is an example of your privilege.
Oh, I believe
this is an example of white privilege.
I believe that.
Yeah, this is an example of. Yeah, this is an example of white privilege, right? So this is an example of how you've been in this bubble thinking that things don't exist. Meanwhile, it's everywhere around you. So the question then for you is, did you choose, and I think you said willful ignorance, I think you chose not to see it because it's always been there. So the question then for you now is, what are you going to do about it?
Exactly. That's where I'm at right now. I don't even know where to go from here because the people I'm around are, I mean, like I said, I live in a small Upper Michigan town. It's the way the people are around here.
So the things that you can do are going into spaces that are represented by the Black and brown community and just sitting and listening and reading and studying history and unpacking the absolute core of our country, which is white supremacy and racism, and try to learn from it. Do you have kids?
Yes, I have 3 daughters.
Teach them better.
Show them examples
of their dad deconstructing.
Yeah, they've they are very respectful to everyone. I've raised very good kids. I'm proud of that. But like I said, I'm still surrounded by garbage. It's almost I'd have to move out of the area or something.
It might be, but it doesn't necessarily matter where you live. It's about your willingness to learn, right? Because you had this, it seems like, again, tough love. You being surprised by it is no excuse. You being surprised that it's still here is no excuse. That's on you. That you've got to learn that, right? And as white men in particular, we're the biggest reason. We, the collective, are the absolute biggest reason that it is the way that it is. We are the most privileged. White men, cis white hetero Christian men in America in 2026 are the most privileged demographic in human history. I don't think there's any argument. Question is, what are we going to do with it? And how are we going to make a difference? It's no longer acceptable to say you didn't see it. It's no longer acceptable.
I agree with that.
The question now is follow Black and brown creators. Okay? Follow them if you spend time on TikTok, and just go and just join the live and don't comment. Don't gift like crazy. Don't comment. Don't request to be on a panel. Just sit and fucking listen to learn. And then go to another one. And then go to another one. And then go to another one. And don't stop doing it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I have been doing it. I've been kind of spreading myself out through TikTok because not that I was mainly on white, but it was kind of what my FYP was sending me. And I started kind of looking and kind of following. I have a few that I follow now. I'm trying to wrap my head around it, I guess, and feel like we're not doomed.
Just got to keep fighting. Just got to keep fighting and do better and be an example for your neighbors by osmosis. Maybe people will pick up on it as well. But thanks for jumping in today. I appreciate you, Fred. Thanks for being here. Keep doing the work. You got it.
Bye-bye.
You got it. Talk to you later. It's a lot of deconstruction, and I'm not unapologetic calling out white men. I think you know that by now. That's one thing that I can do. I can't do that by myself. I can't call out white women. I need white women to do that. I mean, I will, but it's going to resonate more coming from you, right? So, question is, how much appetite do you have for it? How dirty are you willing to get your hands? How much are you willing to fight? How far are you willing to go? If you don't want it this way, look, I've said this before. There's 342 million of us that are living in between Maine and Alaska right now, and all the territories. 342 million U.S. people, our population. We're here at this particular time on February the 6th, 2026 at 10:06 a.m. Eastern time. We are here. This is our problem to solve. This is on white America to fix it. Every fucking time democracy's been under threat, first in line for the fight has always been black women. Always. Always. And we sit back and complain. White America. We sit back and whine and get a little uncomfortable. What are you going to do? I can't do it for you. I can't do it for you. I'll do my part as best I can, but I can't do it for you.
Hi, I just wanted to grab my soapbox really quick and address the lady that came on earlier who said that she had a green card and that she was in shock. I just wanted to make it clear that, love, you were sold a lie. You were sold a lie to believe that America was the land of the free. And because of that, you thought that you would never be in a position that you're in now. And that's unfortunate for you. And that's for other people here that have heard the lie. We have been living two different histories. We have been taught two different histories of this country. And some of you come here thinking that you're going to get that 40 acres and a mule that we worked hard for and never received. And then when you get it before we get it, then you feel like you are better than us. So if anything in this situation, this is a reality check for you to know that this country can always go back to what it was. Why? Because we lived it. We know the capabilities of this country. So don't come up here acting like you're so shocked you can't believe it. Oh, why this? You were sold the lie. Y'all were brought here, and when you are brought here, you are believed. You are taught to stay away from us. You are taught to not talk to us. You are taught a whole nother a point of view of who African Americans are in this country. So it's always been okay to step on us to get to where you want to be. We have always been the stepping stool. You get a store, you come in the African American communities and you overcharge us because of the proximity to the people who don't have cars in the hood. So you upcharge on eggs. Eggs is $6 a carton, but you know that we're going to buy those $6 eggs because a lot of us don't have cars in the hood, or not. I call it the hood. I'm from the hood, so I can call it that, in the hood. You get what I'm saying? So I got you. Those community, those different people, cultures that come here in America, y'all come to the Black community and gain your wealth. And then you turn your back on us. People don't know that you come in our communities and you treat us like nothing. Just like the young lady back in the 90s in LA who was shot down dead by an Asian man in a store because they thought that she stole something. But you're in our communities. So when you come in our communities, you don't want to hear our point of view of this country. But then now you getting up here talking about you're shocked. You're shocked. You know what it was when you came here, because whether you was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years old when you got here, the first thing you was taught was don't deal with the Black people. You're taught that when you get here. And that goes for people who come from Africa, all the way who come from another part of the country. It is taught to stay away from us and to treat us that we're nothing in this country. So when we've been telling y'all when VP Harris was telling y'all, she was loud. She was aggressive. Now you see, and now you're shocked. We can care less about your shockness. We can care less about it. Now you want to sit down and talk to us. What you want to know? Because it's embedded in us. We are born with this in us. So it ain't nothing we can tell you that's gonna make you feel like to teach you how to move, because you weren't born into it. Unfortunately, we do have unfortunately, we do have that advantage that we're very aware of this trauma. We're born into this trauma. We know how to maneuver. We know how to shake and move. And that's something we're born into. So to say that you're shocked, we don't care that you're shocked. We don't care because you didn't listen. When you touch a hot stove, your ass get burnt. And the truth is, this country has always had the capabilities of being where it is right now. Always. You were sold a lie. You were sold a lie. What make you think they gonna give you 40 acres and a mule and they didn't even give it to us? What make you think you're gonna get it before us? In what mind frame? They came here and stole this land. You coming from where your ancestors bled from for a better opportunity in a country that was stolen. What world are you living in? What world are you living in to feel like you coming here in a country that was stolen and that you're better than the people who were beat down and had to build it for nothing? You will never be able to maneuver how we maneuver because you wasn't born into it. And maybe that is our superpower. Maybe that is the superpower that we have, that just other people just can't shake, that they don't have it, but we do. Just like a criminal knows how to maneuver in a prison because he's been there since, he's been there since juvie. Now he done moved up now into the prison system. He's born into this shit. He knows how to maneuver. Unfortunately, he knows how to maneuver in chaos. We've had this conversation before. And it's your fault that you become comfortable. It's your fault that you failed to listen. It's your fault. And maybe nobody has ever told you that, but it's your fault you're sitting there still talking on the phone with your Trump voting ass daddy. It's your fault that you sat there 5 years ago when you knew your uncle was racist, but you still go to his pool party every 4th of July. It's y'all fault. We've been divorcing our husbands because they choose not to respect us in our households. We've been knew the nuclear family was a setup. And it was only a setup because the black women stopped cleaning y'all houses and wiping y'all children's asses. The nuclear family wasn't there to protect y'all. It was there to keep you suppressed and keep you and replace you from what the fuck we was doing. I just had to get on my soapbox because the foolery, what Trump posted last night is not new. He was raised in what he was doing. He was able to continue to live his life how he was doing it because y'all allowed it. Y'all allowed it. And it starts with how you raise your children. You know your son don't respect you in your household. That's why he talked to you the way that he do. And you make excuse out of excuse because he's daddy's little boy. Oh, he's going shooting with his father. But I bet he don't sit down and talk with you and tell you what him and his father done talked about. You don't even know what his daddy putting in his mind, but his daddy's a Trump supporter. Now he indoctrinating your son. You don't even know the stuff that your son even got going on in his head because he don't even talk to you like that. But you think it's okay because long as he has his father in his home, but his father indoctrinated him to believe that not to respect his mama because his mama is a woman, not to respect his sister because his sister is a girl, and you ain't saying a damn thing because you so afraid of what somebody gonna think because your husband is an ass. And your son is obsessed with shooting. You don't know what kind of games he playing. You don't know what's in his phone. You don't know what's going on with your son or your daughter or who she talking on the phone with. But I bet you know what's going on in Susie Ann's household down the street. That's the problem. Let's talk about it. It's your household. That's the only way these little boys and these people are coming out the way that they are is because of the household. No matter how much money you got, no matter how big your house is, your son's still going down here getting guns and doing what he's doing at schools. What make your situation so much different because you're in a different tax bracket? Son's still on drugs. My son may be selling them, but your son is the customer. So we both in the same boat, boo. And that's the problem. This country has always made it to where white people are much better than everyone else. And now that they ass on a chopping block, they don't know how to handle it. They don't know how to come about it. We don't know what to do. Oh my God, this is enough. We have pushed it to the limit. It's always been to the limit.
You keep cooking. I'll be right back.
No problem. It's always been to the limit. Always. It's never not been to the limit. And that's the issue. Is that y'all allow things like this to happen, and now we've gone too far when the farness has already it's been there. It was there before Trump, but everybody was comfortable. Exactly, Daniela. That's a whole nother thing. I just feel like it's just sickening. It's sickening of those people who feel like it is that this is enough, like that this is the straw that broke the camel's back. And I agree that reaction is the most sickening fucking reaction, because it's like, where the hell you been? Where have you been? And don't say you ain't been nowhere, because you have, especially if you lived in this world more than 25 years. I have a niece. She's 10. She was singing a song to me that her friends, and it has something to do with CK. I asked her, did she know who this person was? She said to me, no, I don't. And I said, well, I'm going to tell you who he is. She's 10. I told her who he was. And I said to her, I told her straight up, I said, I don't agree with how it was done. However, you have to be careful with the things that you say, because you don't know the reaction of others. I let her know his stance on people that look like her. And I advised her, you don't need to sing that song anymore. That is my way of educating my 10-year-old niece. Do you think I wanted to have that conversation with my 10-year-old niece? No. But she said something that needed to be addressed, boom, immediately. And that's what I mean about correcting those little, the ones under you, right then and there. Don't let it slide off your back like water on a duck's ass. Address it right then and there. He was a person that had racist ideology, and he had very misogynistic ways when it came to women, and especially little girl, well, not little girls, I don't know, but black women, and you're eventually going to be a black woman, and this is the views that he's going to have of you. And when you get to school, because she goes to school in a red state, when you go to school, you don't sing that song, you don't discuss it. Because you don't know who believes what around you. If you're not having them type of conversations right then and there with your family members or things like that, then sit your ass down. And I'm going to be quiet because the queen is up here. Hello, Erica. I'm going to shut the freak up and I'm going to mute. I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm going to, no, I'm going to get down. I'm going to drop my ass down. Drop me down.
You can stay. You don't have to.
Okay, I'm going to mute. I'm going to mute.
You're good.
Okay.
Good morning.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
Hi. Good. How are you?
All right. I'm doing well. Recovering perfectionist. You already know what it is. And I don't want anyone to mistake her passion for anger. This is not new to us as Black people. It simply isn't. It's expected. In the United States of America, Black people and also brown people, and when I say brown, I'm just going to say indigenous people. Black and indigenous people in this country, on this land, we have always lived in a state of fascism. Here, this isn't new. Our rights have always been stripped away from us, where we've been basically deemed as second class, sometimes third class citizens, where we've always had to legislate for our rights and have them put into law. But as white people, your rights are God-given. So I would say this isn't unexpected. It's been a 11-year buildup to this by Trump. It's not unexpected. I promise you. I don't know why, Steve. I'm just like, this is expected. This is expected. And what I would say is, with white people, be uncomfortable. Be upset. Be uncomfortable. Do something about it. What you gonna do with being upset? Are you just gonna come on panels and tell us how upset you are? I honestly don't want to hear it. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. Steve already knows how I feel about that. I don't want to hear it. I don't care how upset you are. What are you gonna do about it? Like, do something about it. All right. Like, are you gonna talk to your representatives? Are you going to protest? Are you going to not fucking vote for this again? Like, what are you gonna do? That's all I want to know. Like, what are you going to do? And don't ask me what you should do. Please don't. I don't have the time. Also, I don't get paid enough. I'm just being perfectly honest. But what I will say is this, Steve, is that in regards to other marginalized communities and whatnot, I understand that they do come into Black communities and they profit off of Black people. That is a fact. We know that. We also know that even those that look like us can have a skewed view of Black people in America, especially those who are the descendants of slaves, simply because of something known as white supremacy. White supremacy is not just in the United States of America, it is global. White supremacy permeates institutions far and wide. It is in the media for sure, what people see and consume on TV, what they hear, what they read. That is how they form their opinions about us. That is why we say that white people are inherently racist, and why Black people, brown people, Asian people can have anti-Black sentiments, so anti-Black ideologies, because of what we consume. When you are only shown one thing by the people in control, then how is it that you're supposed to think differently? And so, yes, when they come here, all right, they have to experience us before they can actually change their minds. And changing minds, even though I know that change is inevitable, all right, for a lot of people, changing their minds is hard. And that's like, tis it, tis all. So I don't get upset at the Asian people. I don't get upset at the indigenous people. I don't get upset at Latino people, all right, from doing what white supremacy wants them to do. I don't get upset at them for it. And the reason why is simply because I live by the tenet of I do not control other people. They're gonna have to do it. They're gonna have to do it themselves. They're gonna have to come to those conclusions themselves, Steve. All right. And with that being said, I can only say to you all is that this is expected. The GOP isn't going to say anything. They're going to lie to us. Don't let them lie to you. And white people, okay, you're mad about this. What the fuck are you going to do about it? That's it. That's all I got. I had a lot more, but you know how I am. It's like, what the fuck are you going to do about it?
While you're both here, I just would like to read you. This is recently posted a response from Caroline Levitt. This is from the official White House account. This is from an internet meme video depicting President Trump as the king of the jungle and Democrats as characters from The Lion King. Please stop the fake outrage and report on something today that actually matters to the American public. Caroline Levitt.
Hey, yo, so you're fucking telling me that it's okay for them to depict the Black president as a gorilla, as an ape? It's okay because it's from an internet meme. Exactly. This is manufactured consent. What's going to be told to us, right? To us, to people like me, to people like Miss Recovering Perfectionist, is that we are overreacting, that we're crazy, that it's not that big of a deal.
Yep.
All right. So that way they can make it seem like we're the ones in the wrong. It's not a big deal. You can't sane wash this. You can't. We had caricatures of Black people painted as primates, all right, to justify us being treated as subhuman.
Come on.
That is racism. That is white supremacy at work, at play, right in front of us. And they're telling us that this shit is okay. That is we are being gaslit. I'm fucking, it's not white supremacy anymore, Steve. It's white narcissism. It's white narcissism. This has been a structure of gaslighting, and this has been a structure of manipulation. This is not okay. This is not okay. I don't have anything else. What kind of response was that? Not unexpected, but what was that?
You know what that was, Erica?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Guys. Oh, I was gonna say.
No, all you recovering.
I was gonna say. You know what it is? It's what it gives me the same kind of, not the guy that came on that said that he just wasn't aware, and he's from a small bubble. This is just a result that in their bubble, right? Because we have to understand this is an administration of projection, right? Mm-hmm. So in their bubble, it is like, why are you guys taking it? That's what it is, and I feel like we ask the questions of why, like, that's what they think.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying? That's just blatantly, like, someone probably said, well, you guys don't think that it's going to be such and such with them being apes? And somebody said, yeah, duh, that's the point. Because in their bubble, their followers do not have in their minds, don't have the common sense to catch on to the dog whistle, but they know that we are smart enough to catch the dog whistle. See,
it has the intended impact they wanted to have. Correct. And another thing is, it has the intended impact that they wanted to have. Again, Steve, I'm about to drop, but I just say again, like, white folk, y'all upset, y'all mad about it, all of that stuff like that. Okay, all right. Are you just gonna feel it, or are you gonna do something about it? That's all I got. Also, no one gift me anymore. I love this angel number. Please, I'm gonna go bye before they gift me, Steve. You know how
I love you, friend.
All right, love you more.
Take care.
Bye.
Be safe out there. All right, bye. Amarv, good morning. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining us. What's on your mind?
Thank you. This is my first time ever going on stage, talking, but I'm 75 years old, so I marched in the 60s. But there was something that I found out that I didn't know if you had spoke about this or if you did some research on this about McGraw and Hill. Are you familiar with those books? Educational books that's been in our public schools for years.
Yes, McGraw-Hill. Yes, absolutely. My mother was a teacher, so absolutely, yes.
And I just found out that Robert Maxwell was either CEO, but he had some kind of, he was responsible for those books being let out. And when I think about it, because I came up in the 50s and 60s, reading from those books and never really being taught the truth about our history, I can see now how him being responsible for putting those books out and telling us all the lies and instilled in us as children is just mind-blowing to me. And I'm it just moved me in such a way that a lot of us that came up in the 50s and 60s have been taught lies from the public books. And I'm just sad about it. I know it's kind of getting off the subject of what everybody else was talking about, but it's amazing. And as you know, Robert Maxwell is Ghislaine Maxwell's father.
Correct.
So
it's really not off topic. It's not really off topic, though.
Stuff.
Yeah,
it's not.
It's really not off topic. Yeah, not really. If you think about it, it's about a system. It's about a system that we're in that benefits people who look like me. Period.
Yes, and just tying all these things together it's making so much sense to me. But I'm just now it's like a light bulb has gone off in my head in the last 10 years. I mean, I stopped going to church. I stopped reading, getting into the Bible. I'm deconstructing. There's a lot of things that I see now that I did not see before. So I just wanted to put that out there, and anybody that's want to do some research, I would love for everybody to just look into these things. It's amazing. They've been indoctrinating us for years, and it's hurtful. Hurt so many people, and I'm sad about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Amarv. We see you, friend. Thank you very much for being here. Appreciate you. Recovering, I thought I should read this to you. So Tim Scott just posted on X. We all know who Tim Scott is, senator from South Carolina, who's cozied up to Mr. Trump on many, many occasions. He said this: I was praying it was fake because it's the most racist thing I've seen out of this White House. The president should remove it. That was it. That's what it took, Tim. That's what it took.
You know what that was? I don't know. You know how somebody get hit in the back and it hurts so bad till it cut your wind off, or like you fall, and when you hit the ground, it hit you so fast that it take your breath away. That's what he feeling. And he got to sit in his own coon shit. I can't do Tim Scott. I can't do Tim Scott because the coonery he's been someone who probably, who's always aspired to have so much close proximity to the white man. He finally got his foot in the door, but he got his foot in the wrong door, and now he has to continue to stay where he is because he can't go anywhere else. He's now in the black community. I mean, what you know what I mean? It's a lot of Harriet Tubmans in our community to where we will. The coons gotta go. Some of us believe that the coons. We gotta go. We're not a person to. We're not people that love to a fault when I say that. You know what I mean? We will.
I do.
And he would be the one. Get him out of here. You know what I mean? He probably wouldn't even be able to threshold the door. So that's what he stands with us.
Thank you for your truth and taking us to church this morning. I really appreciate you.
Of course. Thank you for always giving me a space.
Always. I love you, friend. Be safe.
Love you too.
Thanks a lot.
Too. Bye-bye.
All right, bye. It's I don't know what to say. I'm sure we already know the internet is reacting, and somebody said to me, like somebody commented earlier, how can people be surprised? I guess that's the part that I don't struggle with. I'm at a loss for words about this. That how do I want to say this? It's always been there. Like it's not an excuse to say you didn't see it or wasn't around me. That's on you. That's not in the black community. That's on you. That's on you to say that you didn't see it or you didn't think that it existed. We have to stop saying that you're surprised by it. It took something as absolutely disgusting and despicable for Tim Scott to come up with that revelation. Or again, what was it that Caroline Levitt said? This is from an internet meme video depicting the president as the king of the jungle and Democrats as characters from The Lion King. Please stop the fake outrage and report on something today that actually matters to the American public. Okay, Caroline. Okay. Got it. Got it, Caroline. Got it. Hummingbird, how are you today?
I am good. I see that you saw the or you guys were talking about the post or the repost that the
person occupying the White House did. Saw that. You guys were talking about that. I saw that as well. I just actually made a post about it. But I wanted to come on your platform today because yours is larger than mine and let you know that North Alabama has a heavy ICE presence right now. And if anyone is in North Alabama that is needing assistance or something like that, we are building community mutual aid to get people things that they might need and doing on the ground work to help those affected. They keep posting, the news and stuff is obviously posting. They got a blank essay offender or whatever when they did these raids. That might be true, but that's not the only people that they took. So it's very misleading, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I got you.
I watched them and filmed last Friday. They were literally circling. A cop would pull one over based on skin color. And then as soon as, if they saw that the person was white, they let them go. And then the ICE vehicle would come up behind the police officer. Then the police officer would drive off. I watched it multiple times on Friday with my own two eyes, along with some other observers. And I just wanted to let you know and everybody else know that it's happening. And if you could be affected, DM me. I guess if you're in North Alabama and you need help. It's been a lot this week. I know two people that are documented for. These are people that they're scared to. The community is scared to talk about it for fear of repercussion or that they might be targeted. But two people that I know of for sure were here, quote unquote, legally. They did it the right way. One of them was the father of a 4-year-old that has, I believe, I don't know what the disability, but has a disability. And he was on his way to go pick her up from school and was taken. So I've met several people that have shared their stories with me, and there's a lot of things that I can't put on TikTok, but I just want you guys to know it's happening here. And there is another thing in the 287G agreement that has not always been there, and it talks about tribal land. There used to be 3, now there's 4. And there's I can't find anything about it, but it is some sort of 287G.
Keep cutting out, Bryn.
Well,
I lost. You keep cutting out, Hummingbird. Thank you for jumping in.
Need a 280G agreement, you know?
Yeah. You just cut out there for a minute, but thanks for. I appreciate the heads up for folks.
Are you still there?
From the ground are necessary. Yeah, you keep cutting out. You got a little bit of a bad connection, so I'm going to drop you down. But I wanted to thank you for coming up and sharing that. Right? Yeah, we you don't need me to tell you. You guys get it. You understand. Twist, I see you, friend. I'll get you in a second. Hey, bro. How are you?
Hey, Steve. How are you doing, sir?
I'm all right, man. What's going on?
So, speaking of Free Speech Friday, I just got an email from my kid's school. It's a K through 8. I got a first grader and a third grader. And the email said that students are planning walkouts. And if there's walkouts, there's going to be repercussions. And whatever student or teacher joins, they're going to face repercussions. And this is in Texas. Free speech, man. Yeah.
I hope they do it anyway. If they all did it, what are they going to do? Suspend everybody?
Well, I got, like I said, first grader, third grader. I asked them, are you guys planning on doing a walkout? And they go, what's a walkout? I go, when you walk out of school and walk out of class. They go, well, we walk out every day. So my kids aren't really necessarily planning it because they don't understand it. But if they did, I'd join them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that all comes down from Greg Abbott.
I'm sorry, bro, but I mean, it seems like your kids are on the right side of history here, and you are too, and that's the most important thing.
Yeah, and I was thinking about it. That came down from Greg Abbott, and it's impacting me, impacting my school. That just goes to show the grip that the Republicans have on local elections, in which I think we as Democrats don't really focus on as much. We do more the national, the big stuff, but we don't really focus so much on the local stuff. So if we start focusing more on the local stuff, it could start growing towards the national.
I agree. That's a great perspective. I mean, we are all advocates for more people participating in democracy. That includes midterms, that includes special elections, that includes local elections. To Tuna's point, this is where it starts. You want the grassroots movement in politics? It starts with your neighbor running for city council, dog catcher, school board, etc. Because if not us, then who? And we know who is. That's Turning Point. That's PragerU curriculum. That's Moms of Liberty. That's who's stepping in. If they can do it, then why can't you?
Exactly.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you. Keep me posted on this, okay? I'll be curious.
Hi, brother. See you.
All right. Have a good day. Be safe out there. Everybody, continue to tap and share the live. I just really quick want to thank some folks who are helping us towards our goal here. I think the timing of this conversation is necessary as we really want to influence more voices to participate in our democracy. I want to thank you, Brooke. Thank you, friend. You didn't need to do that. I appreciate you. Erica, thank you so much. You're very kind. Thank you for doing that. Love you too, friend. Cookie, thank you. Another Erica, thank you. You guys are amazing, helping us out on our journey. Appreciate you all very, very much. All right, Missy Twista. We'll go to noon today. Initially, we were going to try to do Facts After Dark tonight, but I'm probably not up for it, but we'll get back on schedule next week. So thank you, friends. Hi, Twista.
Hey, everybody. So I have some updates from Springfield. It's not good. So, there's an organization, and I know some of you guys who follow Who is King Trib and Simple Black Theory. They're all here in town. And there's a group called G92 that's supposedly been, for the last 8 months, helping the Haitian community with their children in preparation for the deportations. When these guys came to town, they were rejected by G92. They were called very racist names. And I myself, just this morning, have had messages from people who were also rejected by G92, who were offering, there were some whistle kits and Know Your Right kits, things like that to pass out. And we don't know why. Well, allegedly, we're just going to say allegedly because I don't want to get your live in trouble, but these groups have ties to our very Republican governor, Mike DeWine. So I wanted to come up to make sure Springfield City has a habit of trying to suppress the truth. They did it after after the debate and the whole, eating the cats and dogs, and we had the media descend on the town, and it got very chaotic. And it feels like they're doing the same thing again. They're telling people, they're putting out flyers, telling the media and people not to come to Springfield. Don't listen to that. We need eyes. We're not Minnesota. We're a very small town. People here are scared. I'm scared. I'm angry. There are no planned protests here in Springfield. There is a rally I'm going to in Dayton on Saturday. But if you know people who were planning to come, don't listen when people tell you not to come, because these people don't have Springfield's best interests at heart. We don't know what this G92 group is actually doing. They're reporting that they were helping them get custody arrangements for their children who were born here, who are Americans, but they're not accepting this mutual aid. It's very sketchy. I don't want to really say anything more because I don't know yet. I'm doing my own digging and whatever. I came up because I just need people to pay attention to Ohio and to pay attention to Springfield. We already know that ICE is here, and we lived through the hell of the eating and the cats and the dogs, and not a lot of people realized how bad that was for us. It was really, really bad. They had to build watchtowers at my niece and nephew's school. The grocery stores were shut down because of boom boom threats. The Yahtzees showed up in town and posted up outside our mayor's house. It was awful. And I'm petrified of what's to come for this town, because we're so small and the city is very, very racist. It's very red Ohio. So when you hear people saying things like don't come, don't listen to that. Don't listen to that. Because the people who live here, I live here, we need as many eyes as we can get, because it's getting really dark. Like I didn't know about this group and why would you reject mutual aid? Why would you do that? Like I don't know. So
I don't know. That's a weird, you're right. Why would you?
yeah, I had a DM and someone said, "Hey, I've been trying to contact people in Springfield. I have these kits and they have the cards for knowing your rights, and there are whistles in there, and they won't accept them." So I told him, I'm like, "Hey, I'll meet up with you, and we can go to this rally on Saturday and pass them out there if that's what we need to do." It's I'm angry, and I'm scared of what's going to happen. I'm grateful that judge put in and is blocking the administration from ending the TPS, but we know they don't listen to judges. So we're just kind of in this holding pattern now, Steve, and it's like just kind of waiting for the storm to rush in. Like, I don't know.
Got to stay diligent. I know you know this.
Yeah.
I know you know this. We have to stay diligent. We have to keep showing up. We've got to keep reminding people. We got to raise our voices. We have to move differently. We have to do it peacefully. We can't take the bait. I just want to point this out. I want to point this out. Everything that we're seeing, the racist bullshit that came from the president this morning, this administration is doing this while they're protecting predators. 49 days, they have been violating the federal law, exposing the truth, protecting people who violated children, girls and boys, for decades across all walks of life, and they are playing in our faces, and they're trying to distract us. Do not let them. Do not let them.
Yeah, and that's the I had people telling me not to protest and this and that, and I that's just impossible for me. As much as I hate the corruption in this town, I love this town. I've lived here my whole damn life, and I will do everything that I can to protect my people. When my mom told me about one of her coworkers who is a Haitian immigrant who is here legally, and I just want to remind her, the Haitians here are here legally. These are good people, but they've been planning to hide their babies, man. Like that. Sure. This woman broke down to my mother, and I'm like, how is this America? How I don't. Anyway, so I'm not gonna monologue and keep everything out. I just wanted to get that out there, and don't stop watching us, guys, because we need it.
I appreciate you.
Thanks, Steve.
I appreciate you, friend. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, buddy.
Talk to you later. All right, bye. So, I mean, no notes. It's everywhere. I mean, the intention here is to do what we've been discussing, right? The intention is to try to get people so distracted and worn out that we're not going to pay attention to things that we should be paying attention to. And we can't let that happen, right? We have to stay engaged more than ever. There's no choice. David, how are you today?
Hey, good morning. I'm sorry, I was surprised. I thought you didn't get to me. Hi, David Correa from New York City.
Hi, David.
Yeah, Madden Harris, voter, Democrat for life. Okay, so the reason why I'm calling is because what happened last night. It's no surprise to me that this fascist Trump did this, because I knew all my life he was a racist here in New York City. I grew up in Brooklyn and stuff, so I know all about him. He's a con artist, and he discovered something that he didn't even know he had, was to be a cult leader. And once he snatched these people up, they believe whatever he says. So what I'm saying is that, is something going to happen because of this? Nope. Nothing's going to happen, because this guy gets away with everything. Everything that he has done, he never paid consequences. Maybe he paid a little cash here to cover this up and pay this back, but that's it. Nothing's going to happen unless everyone wakes up and goes and votes, especially this midterm. because he could be doing this to distract. Hey, look over there. There's a squirrel because what the e-files. You know, that's getting heavy on him. He's panicking. So maybe he did this. Hey, I have to do something bigger to get these people off this so they could look at the squirrel over here at the corner, you know. But every day he does something. He breaks the law here and there. They have no respects. They got no morals. We're living in the twilight zone right now. Every day I wake up and I say, like, what happened? But these people were there all the time. These racist people, they were there. But they came out when Trump came out, and Trump is their leader. No matter what he does, they'll make an excuse and they'll move on like nothing ever happened. No matter what we tell them, like it's like we're living in a dream, and it's hard. And as for him being racist, that's no surprise to me. I mean, everybody knows he's a racist. Everyone knows that every white racist group in America supports Trump. Whenever you see their camps or you see the biographies in the back, you'll see his flag there. You know, it's no surprise. It's no surprise. So we could try to talk to, these cult members. I call them Trumpy zombies also. But they won't give up. I mean, it's rarely you see them say, you know what, you're right. It's a sad situation, with the ICE.
It is.
And it's parallel to what happened in 1930s. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. We don't need any more evidence, David. But thanks for jumping in today. I appreciate your voice, sir. Thanks for being here. Have a good day. Be safe out there.
You too.
All right, take care. Yeah, I mean, listen. I don't enjoy having to make these comparisons to parts of world history before every single day. But I'm sorry, I'm a student of history. I pay attention to this fucking shit. I pay attention to it. And, how amazing is it that we've got people that are, again, like we talked about, they'll find a way to defend it. Caroline Leavitt, trying to defend it. Oh, it's just a meme. Nothing to see here. Just the president's the king, and it's the president's the king, and yeah. Got it. Yeah, nothing to see here at all. It's totally fine. Just a couple of Democrats as jungle animals just happen to be Barack Obama and his wife. Yeah, nothing to see here. Milfy, how are you today?
Hi, good. How are you?
Fine, thank you. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I had requested to join way back when that Spuds gentleman was up here from the small town in Michigan, and he was...
Sorry, bad timing.
Oh, it's okay. No, I wanted to address him actually, because I'm from a small red town in a very red state, and he was, obviously expressing his confusion and dismay of being like awakened to, just now seeing things as they are, as they've always been. But he was, wanting to know, like, how does he combat this? How does he make a change or make a difference? And mentioned that he was wanting to move. And I understand the easy route is moving. It is. But for those of us that want to fight back, we have to stay where we are. We have to have those hard conversations with the people around us. We have to call out covert racism when we see it. That's the hardest part about all of this, I think, is that we have to get uncomfortable. We have to educate ourselves, and in our quiet time, our downtime, when we are not able to go out and protest and do the bigger actions, a lot of it is reflecting, reading, educating yourself on, really a lot of what the previous women that were up here talking about. I forget what her name was, but she was, mentioning how she was reading up on the history of, in the history books in our school books, and how that was just basically, we were lied to. But there's so much information out there for you to educate yourself on, to be able to arm yourself when you have those difficult conversations. Organize. You always are up here talking about call your reps, get out and vote. Those are huge actions that actually do make a difference. I'm in Missouri, and we've got the SAVE Act coming up that they're going to be voting on. That is again going to be just another state that's trying to strip our rights away with being able to vote as easily. So we have to make a difference in those ways, and it's not the easy route, but it is the worthwhile route.
Well said. Thank you for sharing that, and thank you for being here today. I appreciate you. Thanks a lot. Be safe out there, okay?
You too. Thank you.
All right. I mean, it's a really, it's the point that we've all been trying to make, right? I mean, I think if there's most people who know me is like I always try to find. I'm a glass full, half full kind of person. Always sort of have been, to good or bad, but I'm always going to try to find the silver lining in just about everything. And if there is one in this, I don't know if there is, but if there is one in what we're seeing, is it that more people are waking up? Is it that more people want to get involved? Is it that more people want to do something? Is it that more people are willing to get uncomfortable? I don't know, but that's my hope. That's kind of the point for me. That's kind of what I'm holding out hope for, that more people are going to choose to get involved, that more people are reacting, to this. And that includes people that are even in the circles, people reacting to this. And as our queens had said earlier, your anger isn't enough. Being disgusted by it isn't enough. Being so vilely, again, disgusted isn't enough. So they don't care. They being this administration, they don't care. They just don't. They don't care. The question is, are you going to just let them not care, or are you going to do something about it? And what is that thing you're going to do? Baseline, if you're a member of white America, you listen to some of the queens that we had up here today giving you the fucking script. Giving you the script. Move differently. It's nothing fucking new. I don't claim to be an ally. I would prefer to be considered an accomplice and then be granted allyship. Because this shit is nothing fucking new to them. As a white man in America, I am inherently racist. That's the system that I was born into. Every fucking day, I try to learn more. I'm going to make mistakes. No doubt about it. Absolutely. I'm willing to admit it, though. I'm willing to admit it. Yes, you can watch the replays on YouTube. That's how it's supposed to work. We are supposed to evolve. We are supposed to fucking learn. We are supposed to try to address it and then learn and then move on and then teach future generations of the mistakes of our past. But instead, we get statements from the president's press office saying, no, nothing to see here. It's just a meme. No big deal. What's the quote again? Just want to make sure I get it exactly right. This is from an internet meme. This is from Caroline Levitt, her words on it. This is from an internet meme video depicting President Trump as the king of the jungle and Democrats as characters from The Lion King. Please stop the fake outrage and report on something today that actually matters to the American public. That's the statement. Tim Scott, senator from South Carolina, says, praying it was fake. Praying it was fake. It's because it's the most racist thing I've seen out of this White House. The president should remove it. Just random Democrats, right? Just random Democrats. If it's just Democrats, you could have chosen any Democrat. Anyone. You could have picked any Democrat. But you pick the black man. And you pick his wife. And that's just supposed to be a coincidence? Okay. Nothing to see here.
Good morning.
Good day to you, sir. How are you?
Good, man. How are you? Heavy?
I'm all right. I'm here. Yeah. Yeah. Just a day in the life of in America these days.
I feel it. You can see it. I think everybody here can feel the heaviness. So I appreciate you showing up today, man. That's a lot.
Yeah, I got you.
I appreciate your live this morning, but I've been thinking a lot. In our members events, we've been watching a documentary called Hitler and the Nazis on Netflix. If you haven't seen it, it's really interesting because it's about like the political rise of Hitler. And when they lay it out without ever referencing what's happening in this country, it's identical to how Trump has risen to power and how he's created blind loyalty. I think sometimes we don't talk about like what blind loyalty is, but like legitimately people so loyal that they are blinded from reality and their reality becomes whatever he says. But I was thinking about Oscar Schindler, and I was reading about Oscar Schindler this morning from Schindler's List, and it got me thinking because I listen to these lives all the time, and there's been some beautiful voices today, and people feel like they're worn out, and I get that. People feel sometimes hopeless, and I get that. But I wanted to perhaps make a challenge to the white men like yourself and myself. Oscar Schindler had absolutely nothing to gain by using his wealth and his influence and his place in society to help Jewish people. He wasn't Jewish. He was wealthy. In fact, he benefited by taking over a enamelware factory that was owned by Jewish people who obviously could no longer own that. And what I would just say to white men everywhere is it's fucking time for us to make everybody in our life really fucking uncomfortable and do it unapologetically. And however you have to do that, I don't think that the solution always is yelling at somebody. But we, in a position of power and privilege, we can't take this moment and run from it without being cowards. And so that means a lot of different things. Number one, you can't shut the fuck up. But number two, you might have to sit with your MAGA family and you might have to listen to them say some bullshit and you might have to walk their dumbasses through how they came to such a dumb fucking conclusion. And that might mean that you have to show a little bit of restraint. It might mean you have to show a little bit of compassion. It might mean you have to show a little bit of empathy. But of all the people in the world who have the ability right now to show empathy and compassion, it sure as shit could be white men who have never been attacked or targeted for anything. And I think that like we talk a lot about privilege, and that's what the privilege is. The privilege is we can sit with our white friends and we can listen, and we don't have to be triggered or attacked, and we have to put up with some bullshit and some uncomfortable feelings of our own. But it is remarkable through all of this, the complete cowardice and silence from the majority of white men in this country, whether they are right, left, center, or apolitical. People not willing to shake the tree. People not willing to upend some friendships. People not willing to make a situation uncomfortable. And it's far past time that we did that. I would even point out today that what you just brought up, that meme or that video Trump put out, that obviously racist video that Trump put out. Where were the white men in the Republican Party? It was Tim fucking Scott, who is as big of a bootlicker and bitch as you have in that party. And it's the one guy who reaches down, finds what's left of his nuts and says one thing. So if I just, for any white men in here, make people fucking uncomfortable. Lose some friends if you have to, but try to keep the conversation going. You don't have the right to be outraged, to rage quit, to cry, to call names. It's your time to sit and be uncomfortable and deal with this problem that whether you feel you created it or not, you benefited from it. and we have to undo that. So, Steve, you know I love you. I know that this is heavy on you. I appreciate you using your voice, but for fuck's sakes, the rest of us, like, we have a lot more to do, and this is that time for us to stop being such pussies, man.
No notes, Jay. Well, guys, the interesting perspective from your growing up in such a high control environment, right?
Yeah.
Probably sheltered from a lot of this, but yet not really. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was part of your top of the heap. A white Christian cis hetero man in America. Whew, top of the fucking heap, right? Top of the fucking heap. And I know you've been really working hard on your deconstruction. So I appreciate you sharing that. And you know how I feel about you too, bro. I appreciate the work that you do.
All right, brother, keep it up. We'll see it.
You too. Talk to you later. Be well. There's the call. The gauntlet has been thrown down. I feel the same way. What's it going to take? Again, this is not about, and I know Jay's point exactly right. This is not about people in the cult coming out. This is about the rest of us who are disgusted by it. And what the fuck are we going to do about it? What are we going to do? I'm grateful that I don't have to make those decisions in my family. I don't have to. My parents are both deceased. My mother would be like front and fucking center with this fight, and I'm grateful for that. I don't have to make those decisions to distance myself from family. Friends, absolutely. Didn't even apologize for it. Just see ya. People that I've known my entire life. See ya. Before any of this shit. That's the ask. That is the ask. No more. No more. Can you do it? Can you walk away? Because if you can't, then that is your privilege. And that's what we talk about when we talk about things in terms of privilege. Because you get to pick and choose these relationships, these friendships, these cohorts that you associate with. People who are on the receiving end don't. So your time is now, white America. What the fuck are you going to do with it? Hi, Mel. How are you?
Hi. Fine. Making my usual Free Speech Friday call.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so number one, how much more shit do I have to take as a black woman? I mean, damn. It's Black History Month. What an insult. Okay, that's my rant. I'm just pissed. I'm mad. Okay. I am taking it personally. Okay? All right. Look, I want us to consider not distancing this issue with 1930s Germany. Okay? Those people studied American shit to design what they did. Okay? They
You're right.
chose
They did.
to study.
They loved our Jim Crow.
Yes.
Yeah, they loved our Jim Crow laws. They loved them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So the shock and oh my God, this is not America. Yes, it is. And when you distance yourself by calling it other than American, it makes for the comfort of it being another place and time. And I'm asking you to bring it home and sit with that, because putting it off and making it another country's issue is maybe the thing that's making it palatable. Bring it on home, bring it close, hold it tight, because that's what we African Americans have been saying. That's what we've been saying. It is American. It's not German, and putting it off on Germany is taking it away from us. This is
It's a
our
great
thing.
point.
This is our shit.
It's a great point.
Yeah, that's all I would ask us to do right now is to pay attention to the fact that this is our reality. And maybe that'll move the needle some for some people. Maybe. But yeah,
Maybe.
I've taken this shit personally. I'm so offended. Look, I'm from California originally. So this whole racist thing was a big shock to me when I moved to Georgia. I was like, what the fuck? These people, they don't. No, I'm going to say some rude things. I'm sorry. Do
It's
these
okay. You don't need to
people really
apologize. Let it
think
fly.
that, do these people really think that they're better than me? And I mean, I was brought up in an affluent part of California, so I was pretty shocked that people living in double wides thought they were better than me. So I had to reframe my whole mind and really get myself prepared to deal with this for my children. My daughter had some in face-to-face racism today, recently, when she went to Cabo at a resort, and she called me pretty upset. And she dealt with a Karen and all that comes with it. And it was like, oh my God, she was so far away, I couldn't put my hands on her. But yeah, it was the Trump's America, and she had to deal with it. But
yeah,
yeah,
I know.
that's what I want to suggest. Bring it on home.
Appreciate that.
Bring it on
I
home.
appreciate that. It's a great perspective. Thanks for joining today,
All
Mally.
right, I
Appreciate you.
love your show. Love your show.
Thank you, friend.
Bye.
I appreciate you very much. Have a good day. Be safe out there. I never really even thought about it that way before. It's absolutely right. I mean, history tells us that the German government modeled some of their abuse of the Jewish community after our Jim Crow laws. So sure, we can make the comparison to 1930s Germany, but where was the fucking seed planted? Right fucking here. I just got a flag real quick, so I'm just going to play our PSA. I'll be right back.
TikTok. It is our intention during these live broadcasts to only provide fact-based information to the absolute best of our ability. We strive to never spread misinformation or to platform those that do. Opinions of our guests or commenters are theirs and theirs alone and do not reflect those of the host. Hate speech is not allowed, and we are diligent about policing it. This platform is for educational purposes only. We now return you to our regularly scheduled pandemonium, already in progress.
I really appreciate what Jay said, right? And I think that's the message that I've been trying to share with white men in particular. I don't know if you see it. For those of you who feel like you're an ally, you don't get to say that. You don't. You have to be invited into allyship. You have to fucking earn it. You have to become an accomplice. You have to be willing to go and get fucking dirty. White men in America talk a good game. You play the victim card really, really well. Really, really well. And there are people in this space who I respect who are not willing to get themselves dirty. What more do you need to see? Like, what more do you need to see? What are you actually fighting for if you can't address what we are witnessing? Who the fuck, what are you planning on leaving behind? If not us, who? If not now, when? And that is, from my perspective, that's directed at white men, white America. I'm starting to really question if there's enough of an appetite. Because people talk a good game. People were talking a good game in the 2024 election season, too. People were talking a good game. Do I have faith? I have to. That's what fuels me. Right? That's what fuels me. That's what fuels me, that because there are more of us who ideologically are disgusted by this. But are there enough of us to really be willing to get in the fight, to get in the fucking ring? And that could get ugly. That absolutely could get ugly. But don't take the bait. They want you to. Don't take the bait. You've got to learn how to move differently. You've got to learn from black women in particular how to move differently. You've heard it today. They're like, are you kidding me? This is fucking nothing new. White America, this is nothing new. We wake up every single day and get attacked through racism and white supremacy. Every fucking day of their lives. Every day. And now we see it. Kipper's angry too. And now we see it. And so there's this reaction on Twitter or on social media. Is that going to be enough? When is it going to be enough? Good, Amy. Timed out. What do we got here? Kipper. He's angry too. I don't blame him. We're all angry. Good morning. How are you?
Hey, Steve. Good morning. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm all right. What's on your mind?
I mean, as well as can be expected. I've enjoyed the conversation today, as far as just hearing people's perspectives and what am I going to do? And I've been asking myself that. And so one of the things that I wanted to share just with your listeners and with you, earlier we were talking about getting involved in our local governments and how that kind of trickles up. Sometimes it trickles down, but sometimes it trickles up, you know. And here in New Mexico, I just wanted to share what our state legislature is doing in our current session. I feel like they're pretty progressive moves. One of them is, so I'm in New Mexico, just for anybody who needs to know. I think you know that, but it's one of them is HB 9, and it's the Immigrant Safety Act, which is, I believe the governor has already signed it, and it is prohibiting any local governments or from doing any kind of contracts with ICE. It's prohibiting them from using any local lands or public lands for detention centers or anything like that. And we are already God, what's the word I'm looking for?
Sanctuary
there
city,
you go. I
city,
couldn't spit it out. Sanctuary city, and so that just means that our local police and law enforcement isn't required or to work with government agencies. The other one that's going through that is still in committees, but it's Senate Bill 17, and it's a pew pew regulation bill, firearm safety. That is one of the ultimate goals is to ban the sale of AWs, which is big. And there's a lot of people pissed off about that here, but it's also raising the age of purchase to 21, and you can no longer sell assault weapons. And I'm all for it, you know. And so I just wanted to share that there's some good things going on in different local governments, especially in more progressive states. And you know, I hope that these pass. One of the research, one of the numbers, like the data shows that most of the violence, pew pew violence here in New Mexico is done within 50 miles of where the weapon was purchased, right? And so they're really trying to crack down on that. And there's a lot of pew pew trafficking going on here in New Mexico, and so they're making moves to make some changes. And so I'm excited about that, and um, yeah, the governor did try to pull that a couple of years ago as well. I see James's comment, and a lot of people think that this isn't, an attack on the Second Amendment. I don't agree. However, I think states have the rights to regulate and put regulations in, and if the legislature decides that that's what's going to happen, then that's what happens. And anyway, I'm proud of our state for making some moves, and I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you. Have a good day. Be safe out there.
You
I
too.
love those stories. I love New Mexico. Done some incredible motorcycle riding around that state. Amazing culture, amazing people. So good for New Mexico. This was just shared with me. So we've played some sound before. So C-SPAN has these hotlines where people can call in Democrats, Republicans, Independents. I've not listened to this yet, but this looks like a Trump voter responding to what happened, what we've been sharing this morning.
My word. I am a registered Republican. My dad was the president of American Pipeliners Association, so I came by it rather naturally. Voted for the president, supported him, but I really want to apologize. I mean, I'm looking at this awful picture of the Obamas. What an embarrassment to our country. All this man does is tell lies. He is not worthy of the presidency. He takes bribes blatantly, and now he's being a racist blatantly. They were supposed to deport the dangerous criminals. They were not supposed to go after small children, storm schools, bring terror upon, the little kids and the women and children, not just the immigrants in the school. All the children are scared. This is not a decent man. This is not an honest man. He openly takes bribes. He's pathetic as a president, and I just want to apologize to everybody in the country for supporting this rotten man.
John, did you vote for him in all 3 elections?
I did. I was sucked into the stupidity of creating jobs, and there are no more jobs in New Mexico. Things are worse than they were before. You cannot find a primary care physician. Our governor just passed some laws to try to help. If you are a young physician, we want you in New Mexico. Come here. There's a great need for you.
The first thing that pops into my head is too little too late, right? Been voted for this 3 times, like 3 times. At least he's honest and said, hey, I did it just because I thought about jobs and things like that. But it's, I still fall to that's too little too late. But, this is a struggle for empaths because we had a breakthrough potentially last week with somebody who joined us who felt completely apologetic and they were wrong. And, words are great, but miss me with your words, sir. I appreciate you sitting on your couch, calling in anonymously to a network show complaining. But when you hang up, what are you going to do? Was that nice to get that off your chest? Right? To feel like you had to wash the stench of your support for a racist bigot, twice impeached, 4-time indicted, sexually abusing fraudster, convicted felon, name on a list predator. It's not enough. Like, what do you do? What do you do next? What do you do next? Are you willing to take Jay's advice and completely disown your family? Walk away and tell them why? What are you going to do? It's not enough. It's just not enough. You're right, Veritas. The guilt got him. The guilt. Not realizing that I can do better. Overwhelmed with guilt. Tim Scott's reaction. Tim Scott. Tim Scott, who wanted a position in the candidate, who's willing to do anything and everything to get the attention of the president. And now, Tim, you realize that the guy that you've been simping for years, Tim's a pathetic fucking bootlicker. And now you finally realize that this is the most racist thing? Yeah, this is the most racist thing to ever come out of the White House, period. And that was it? That's what it took? Okay. It's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough just to realize it. It's not enough to finally be angered by it. Question is, what are you going to do next? What are you going to do next? And how? And when? If it's not us, who? If not now, when? Good morning, my friend. How are you?
Good. How about you?
Okay.
Perfect. So, two things, and I'll make it short and sweet. First thing is, MAGA gets triggered every time they call us people who are white, that we're ashamed of our heritage and we're apologetic for everything that's going on and whatnot. And no, we just understand what systemic racism is and how that affects everybody. And people that don't look like us are behind generations because they didn't have the things that we had before we were even born. And so, but in this day and age, in 2026, we can apologize for things like this stupid president that we have doing stupid stuff. There's no reason for racism. And so we could apologize for the people who look like us that don't act like us. My heart bleeds every time I see something like this because I can't control it. I could do my part, but there's no reason for people to be like this. And we all...
It's a choice. You're right. It's a choice.
It's a choice.
It's a choice. You're right.
Children are taught racism. You can go into any school, and in kindergarten, everybody's playing together without a problem. Nobody says, ooh. But you get to an older age, and then it's like, oh, they're not like me. So it's taught. And so I know you teach your kids the same way I do mine. Everybody's equal and whatnot. So that was that. So I apologize on behalf of all the people who are white to anybody who isn't right now, because that's all I can do right now, sitting at my house working. On the flip side, the reason why I really jumped up was, I don't know if you got anything on your news feed, but Donald Trump just told, he said that he will give money for the gateway infrastructure bill in New York City, if they change Penn Station to his name and then Dulles to his name.
I saw that.
What the fuck?
I saw that. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yep, that's who he is. That's who he is. That's the America First guy. That guy.
It's a Trump first guy.
I know.
But that was it. I was shocked. I'm like,
that's why we're here.
It's all the quiet stuff is being put out loud right now, and certain people just don't see it. Like, how much more do you need?
Agreed.
So that was it.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate you.
No problem.
Be safe out there. Have a good weekend. All right. Talk to you soon.
See ya.
All right. Bye. I don't even know what to say. I mean, it's just like, what more is there to say? Hello, friend. How are you?
What's up, brother? How are you?
I'm all right. I'm here.
Yeah. Hey, I just want to tell you, protect your peace today, brother. MAGA is MAGAing today out of all days. Ooh. You should hear the excuses I've heard so far. One person said,
like what? Like just a joke?
Yeah, it was just a joke. One other person said, "Oh, he was screen recording somebody else live, and he scrolled up and scrolled back down. That's how that ended up in there." And then they like, "Oh, he didn't originally post it. He originally reposted it. Somebody else reposted it, and then he reposted that person post. It was originally." Yeah, they're going on a loophole. So I just want to tell you, because you always out here fighting on the right side, brother. Protect your peace today. Protect your peace today, brother. It is not worth it. We knew that this was that kind of man. I told people this since the first time he was running. If it was really about crime in New York, why didn't he put out the same newspaper for Yusuf Hawkins a 16-year-old boy that was unalived by 30 white kids. If it was really just about crime, why didn't he put the same energy into a newspaper for him to get him justice? Because police didn't know who the 30 white kids were. Why didn't you put the same energy out? But
well, yeah, that's the hypocrisy, right, friend? That's exactly the point. That's exactly it. Anything to fire up his racist, bigoted base. Anything he can to do that, and he will.
yeah, and a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, maybe it was a different year. No, it was the same year. It was August 23rd, 1989. It is something that New York can never forget. It happened the same year, just months apart. If he really cared about the crime issue that New York was happening. But yeah, brother, definitely protect your peace. It's Friday, brother.
Yeah, I mean, just want to let you guys know that Naquan is a member of our little MAGA hunting group, and we tend to go around. And the reason we do it, everybody has their own intentions, but the reason we do it is because there's people that live in these little echo chambers that are not hearing anything other than their own stench. So we are there trying to protect people, trying to call shit out, try to make sure that the people that might be watching there live or people will follow us in there and they'll hear opposition. And I appreciate you doing the work, my friend. It's an honor. It's an honor to be hunting with you, so to speak.
Yeah, I am no Facts. I am no Matt. I am no RJ. I do what I can. I'm no Emma or anything. I do the stats that I know by heart. Until they start to annoy the hell out of me. Facts and Matt's got a different kind of tolerance. They can deal with it. I'm different. After a while, I get annoyed, and eventually, I will say something that may get me kicked. But yes, everyone that's in here, y'all know who Facts is. It is literally 991 of y'all. I'm gonna need everyone in here to start at least a dollar train. At least a dollar train. Support your favorite creators up here. The mental stress that they put up with, and they do this every day. I do it every once in a while when I have the energy. Support your favorite creators, people like Facts, Matt, RJ, Emma, so on and so forth, because they go onto these lives and they put up with the mental stress. So again, if everyone can just start a dollar train, let's help Matt out. Matt might need a break that he want to go out and have some fun, and mental breaks are very important. Let's show Matt some love.
I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you for saying that. You're a good man. I'll see you on the streets, I'm sure.
All right,
be
brother.
safe, okay?
You too.
All right, talk to you soon. All right, I love you, man. Say be well. He knows. There's people on our. He knows it, Steve. Appreciate that, bro. I appreciate you. I got a few more people I want to bring up here. Okay, Zach, whatever. Rant Man,
what's up? How have you been? Wow. So for years, 10 years, I think anybody with half decent intuitive skills knew that this guy was supremely deranged and toxic and dangerous. Okay. It took a while for some people, I think. And I'm talking about people on the fence, not necessarily MAGA, because they're lost. What I like about what you've been saying is you can't be a fence sitter with this guy and that movement. You can't. You just cannot. And I have not been a fence sitter for 10 years. I've extinguished, like I heard you say, friends or anybody who supports this toxic vermin are of no use to me. I don't hate them necessarily. They're just not something I'm going to put my attention to, because anybody who throws out an excuse, anybody that apologizes or tries to diminish the severity of what this clown is doing with his bootlickers, they might as well just join him. They're lock barrel and connected to this guy. You don't get to disassociate yourself. You don't get to say, oh, I don't like what he says, but I like his policies. That dog don't hunt anymore.
Correct.
That dog don't hunt.
Agreed.
So you
Agreed.
know, it's a time in our history, and I think the comparisons with Nazi Germany and is very, very appropriate. It's a modern time. The use of propaganda is exactly the same, only there's a lot more technological things that make it easier. There's no doubt in my mind that Stephen Miller and Bannon and all these other maggots probably, I don't even think Trump even has complete control over what he disseminates in his bullshit Truth Social. I think it's distraction. I'm glad to see the traction that the files have because they're not going to go away. I don't know if anybody will ever be indicted or that this will be unveiled because I do think it's a wide, expansive ring that touches a lot of different powerful people. And for that reason, I don't know if we'll ever get to and I don't even know if we need to. I think enough connections have been made that Bondi and all these other maggots can try their best to distract, which I think that is what this is. It's a distraction. And it's enough now where if these bootlickers in Congress are not worried if we have a midterm election, they better be.
We're going to have a midterm.
I hope to God we do. I really do. They're trying like hell in Georgia. They're trying like hell in Georgia. But you know, this kind of it's not even racism. It's worse than that. This kind of evil has now rested, and I'm going to land this in a sec, has now rested itself over our country. And this is going to take, and I hope to God in my lifetime I can see it turned around. But we have done, because of this person in MAGA, so much damage to our country that I just hope to God that the good will persevere over evil, my friend.
It has to. Thanks for jumping in today, man. I appreciate you. Thanks for being here. Yeah, have a good day. Be safe out there. It's a really good point. I mean, I do think I disagree a little bit. I do think it is racism. I do think it's white supremacy. But we always, for those of us for those of us that are doing the work or trying to do the work or talking about it or at least trying to expose it, especially those of us that are empaths, it hits us harder, right? So I firmly believe, I am not a religious individual, but I'm a very spiritual man, and I believe in the karmic balance in the universe, and I truly believe, and call me naive, whatever, I don't care, I'll take it. The more good you put into the universe, the more you'll get back. And people who are empathetic, we don't put good into the universe expecting anything back. We just do it because it's the right thing to do, right? We look out for people, we care about people because it's the right thing to do. We don't even think twice. We don't even think twice about it. We just do it, right? We just do it. So it's going to require more of us to do that now. It's going to require empaths to step up. Parents, especially parents of young white boys, middle school, high school, right? Those are the targets for red pilling. It's going to take you to be the best parent you've ever. First of all, the most important job there is. It is going to take all of your parenting chops. I hope you have them. I hope you're prepared. And if you're not prepared, then seek help. Reach out to groups that specialize in these kinds of things, right? Because without it, it's the same. As we know, girls girls becoming women as they age, becoming more and more liberal at a faster rate. Boys becoming more and more conservative. Thankfully, it's at a slower rate, but the gap is widening. The gap is widening because women are becoming more liberal as they age, which is a really good thing. So we discussed the male loneliness epidemic. It is a fucking another lie that's been told to the American electorate. It is self-inflicted. If men stopped raping women, if men stopped being racist assholes, especially white men, if white men stop being, groypers and transphobes and homophobes, then maybe you wouldn't be as lonely. Maybe you start realizing that the system that is built for you Because we talk about this before many, many times about how the patriarchy is harmful to women. Absolutely it is. It's also incredibly damaging to men. And most of them don't realize it. We have to tell them. We have to remind them every single day. Because this shit is just not fucking acceptable. Under no circumstances. There's no defense for it. Blackout, how are you today?
Hey, Facts, I'm doing great. And yourself?
Doing okay. What's on your mind?
Am I able to go in any direction here, or we have a topic list or anything like that? Or cool,
Free Speech
awesome.
Friday.
Always the wealth gap and the economic situation, because I can tie that into so much. Because shit, even if you're a parent, right? You got some savings in your bank account. You're a little less stressed about the electricity bill, about the rent bill. You're going to have a little bit more energy, right? To be able to provide that child with some education, with some time that they need to try to become a better person. And, basically just wanted to talk a little bit about what we are trying to do, which is connecting people's economic situation to their political one. And it's how do we stay connected after the protests in everyday life? You know what I mean? And then that's where so much, I think, of people's frustration comes from, is that we are going to the protests and things like that, but there may not always be something locally for people to, be able to really connect to and find something in their area. And that's just a lot about what we are trying to do, is show people that there's this momentum loop between mass actions and forming connections. Forming connections helps us to find local groups, and those local groups help us to boycott and strike even harder, and that'll create even more mass actions. And I think it all ties into everything that we are talking about as well.
I think I heard you say that you think people are saving money?
No, basically the savings comes in is striking is one of the biggest things we can do politically, and Americans don't have any savings. So because Americans are not able to have savings, it's more difficult to get people to strike.
Gotcha. Okay. So I understand. Okay. I think I might have heard that in a different way, but you're right. Yeah, I think people have to. Again, it's a privileged take for many people. Corporations are not going to suffer from one day of people not participating. There's got to be any sustained, effective, impactful boycott requires diligence, persistence, unity. I think about the Montgomery bus strike, 13 months that went on, and it made a difference. So that's a good cautionary tale, friend. Thanks for jumping in today. I appreciate you.
And sorry for the salesman voice. I get nervous, and that's how I come across. So my apologies,
it's all
everybody.
Good, man. It's all good. I appreciate you being here. Thanks a lot for being here. I appreciate it. I think it's a really good, it's a good point. It's about sustainable. And I think there's, let me just change backgrounds real quick, because I want people to be reminded of this. Like we've learned through life, right? Don't take the bait, look for the helpers. And that's kind of where I was going with this conversation, right? It's going to take more people to distance themselves, to make the decision to end these relationships. Now, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I am willing to have conversations with anyone. Now, I know that as people decompress and deconstruct, as people are waking up, especially those people that are on the right, that are in MAGA, they if this is their final straw, the question that people on the left, ideologically left, and liberals and progressives and things along those lines, and empathetic people, are we going to give them a space to land when they are deconstructing, when they are deconstructing from religion, when they are deconstructing from any high control environment like the church and or like a cult, right? Are we going to give them a place to land? It's a tough question. Everybody's going to have to answer that, right? Everybody's going to have to answer that question, right? If somebody, again, words are irrelevant to me at this point. They're irrelevant. They are absolutely irrelevant. Question is, are you going to show your remorse, your regret, whatever the words are? I don't know. A lot of people are going to say that they're not, and I get it. I get it. I get it. I understand. I don't know. Personally, I'm not going to reach out to break bread. I'm not interested in doing that. Nope. But if somebody came to me, and I've got a pretty good bullshit detector, if somebody came to me and said, you know what, I completely fucked up. I was blind. I got sucked in and this and that. I'd like to try to learn. Me being who I am, I would listen. I would be like, I would have my side eye, right? I would have my spider sense would be engaged. So that's a question that everybody's going to have to ask. You know, I'm sure I'm going to run into that when I'm out on the road, right? Again, little plug for the Do Something Tour. Please go to the link tree, the link is in my bio. Also, we have a Do Something Tour channel in our Discord if you want to check it out. And please subscribe. And please, please subscribe to our Instagram page, Do Something Tour. Please do that. I think the hard part for people, how do I say this? I think the hard part for people is how far, Yeah, Gregory, good comment. I'll feed MAGA, but they're not welcome at my table. I think that's the part, right? Look at it. You know, you're driving down the road and you see a MAGA flag on the back of a pickup or the back of a car, and the car's broken down, right? Would you stop and help? I would. Some people won't, and I get it. And I get it. I understand. I get it. I know people, and I completely understand. And it's not judgment. It's just we're going to be faced with these. I am just a big believer. For women, I would agree. I wouldn't expect you to. That wasn't my point. I'm just trying to make an overall general kind of point. I think you understand what I'm trying to say. We are at this particular point right now where I'm a big believer in humanity, and I'm a humanist at the end of the day. That's the most important thing to me more than anything else. And so then the question is, if we're in these moments and we're true to ourselves, that we are humanists, so to speak, and we care about our fellow neighbors. Like I've said this a million times, we could have the most bright red MAGA supporting Trump voters, got all the fucking merch, says all the fucking talking points. I want that person to have health care. I want their child to have access to the best public education that we can muster. I want there to be a social safety net to support them in case things go bad. If they're eligible for SNAP, I want them to get it. If they need Medicare and Medicaid, I want them to have it. That's the hard part. And we know what we see every single day, and it's not going to change overnight. It's how we react. So look for the helpers, because they're out there, right? They are out there. Don't take the bait. It's what they want, right? And we're all guilty of it, myself included, right? So I have to be careful how I don't want to come across as a hypocrite, because I'm guilty in it as well, because as somebody who does political content, and we have a news show and our show here, we cover the news, right? The reason we have our background, let me change backgrounds real quick. The reason we have the counter is because we are not going to ever stop talking about the Jeffrey files. 49 days and this administration is breaking the law. But there are other things that we have to make sure that we are addressing, and that is humanity. When we go out on the road, right? When we go out on the road, I have no idea what to expect. No idea. Am I nervous? Yeah. Am I worried about my safety? Not really. It's not that I'm not aware of it, but I refuse to be intimidated. I just refuse. I refuse to be intimidated. That's my cross to bear, I guess, but I'm not going to allow it to keep me from doing what I want to do, because there's too much at stake. Talking to my kids about it last night, and they're like, "Dad, by yourself?" And my boys were like, "We're going with you." I'm like, "Okay. Well, when are you going?" "Then." "I can't go then." "Okay, no problem." I don't think I'm Jake. Who the fuck is Jake Lane's a pussy ass bitch? No, I don't think I'm Jake Lane. That's for sure. We're going to go till noon, friends. Keep tapping. Let's see if we can get across the finish line here. It's only Juan. Are you there? It's only Juan. How are you today? It's only Juan. Are you there? Okay. Sorry.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm doing good, doing good. I'm doing okay until I seen that. I woke up and I seen a video on Twitter.
Yeah.
I can't believe people are supporting this shit. Me as a black man, me as a black person, that is so disrespectful, especially from a sitting president. That these people
It is
support.
indeed.
It's crazy. It's insane to
It is
me.
indeed.
Oh, go ahead, host. I'm sorry.
I agree.
And it's crazy
No,
to me.
I was going to say, no, I
Go ahead.
I agree.
And then Kristen, what's her name? Kristen Noem saying that it was part of the Lion King. There was no gorillas in the Lion King. The Lion King was
Yeah, it was Caroline Levitt. The
Caroline
Caroline
Levin.
Levitt, the press secretary. But yeah, but
Okay.
same point. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just crazy to me. And now the Republicans are in trouble. They're done. That was the cherry on the top. They're not coming
only
back from
done.
this.
They're only done if we make sure that we keep the pressure on. We can't just be so
Absolutely.
outraged that then we go and just complain and stomp our feet in the corner and not do anything about it. But you're right. Thanks for jumping in today, friends.
You're
I appreciate
welcome.
you being here.
You're
Thanks a
welcome.
lot.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for your patience.
Thank you.
You got it. Have a good day. Yeah, I mean, I don't. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's about how we react. It's what we do now. Okay, it's what we do now. Hazy, how are you?
I'm hanging in there. So, and I've already heard you say how you are, so we'll just keep on going. But I know you're trying to fit as many people in here as you can. So I just wanted to say one of the things that I've been hearing as I go through social media is people pissed off about kids walking out of school and protesting. As a parent, and I think there's a lot of parents in here out of the almost 900 people, we need to keep in mind that the US was founded on people protesting. And these kids are exercising their First Amendment rights. And the minute you tell these kids that they are not allowed to protest, you are basically saying only certain people are permitted to have that First Amendment right, which is already being put in place by our administration. So I just would challenge people that if their kids are protesting to support that. Let them do their thing. They are learning civics in action at this point, and knowing that they are not being taught civics in school the way they should be. This is them exercising their civics. I will also say that I think it's interesting. Like, we're seeing those protests at high school levels. My kiddo just came home yesterday and was like, "Mom, I need money." I'm like, "What for?" She goes to a school where kids wear Trump supporting shirts. And now it's switching to there's kids selling pins that say ICE out. And I'm like, I am so happy to hear that there's this shift. But going back to the protesting, sit down, shut up, let your kids do their things, because in a lot of ways they're seeing things differently than we are. And I think that the idea of even having a permission slip for my kid to walk out of school and protest, let's just be honest, my kid's going to say, F it. Like, I don't care if you sign my permission slip. If I believe in this strong enough, I'm going to go do it. And I hope they have the passion for that. And I hope that we start to see a bit of the shift for the white males that are going down the path of the red pill path, just because they're starting to see their peers, because peer pressure is so strong. Like, and I hate peer pressure in a lot of respects because of bullying, but peer pressure in this context, I told her, I said, if somebody says we're protesting, you walk out with them, I'll be right there beside you to come make sure everything's okay. So I just want to put that out there for parents to think about that. This is civics in action.
I love it. I really appreciate you saying that. I completely agree. There's nothing more patriotic than when we see high school age kids protesting and standing up for the rights of others. There's nothing more American than that.
100%. And I love that they're doing it. And if I hear any schools in my area that are doing it, I will be there to make sure that they have the backing of an adult to stand there by their side that wants them to be able to exercise their rights.
It is so well said. So well said. Thanks for jumping in today.
Thank you. Have a
Hazy.
good
I
one.
appreciate you very much. You too. See you later. Real quick before I forget, one of my amazing mods, Frances, who's been on the journey with us for an incredibly long time. Her birthday's tomorrow. She turns 26 again. So everybody, if you could just light up the hearts, light up the chat with hearts for our dear friend Frances. Frances, you know how much I love you, friend. You're an incredibly amazing person. You are one of the sane voices in my head when I'm just feeling weird. I get this text from you randomly because we're connected. We're connected. So I just wanted to let you know how much I love you and how happy I am to call you a friend. And I appreciate our friendship so very, very much. Happy birthday to you, my dear friend. All right, friends. So thank you. It's been quite a week. I appreciate you all. Thanks for your kindness and your generosity and your donations. We hit $614 today. We will get we'll update that. We'll have an update on our fundraising goals. We're marching towards 25K. If you've not yet considered joining our Discord, you can get more information on our Do Something tour. Also, you can find us on Instagram at Do Something Tour. Please check it out. Everybody go rate RTP. Tell them we said hello. I love you guys. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday morning, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Until then, friends, remember,